Are you ready? Can Crush Us. It don't really get no better than this the podcast that you're looking for if you're really heavy into wrestling. Hosted by the Mark. Energy that's so amazing. Gotta keep it entertaining. Rep the Can Crusher Nation. Yeah, you know what's going down in the ring. Lights out when you hit a ding ding. Knock 'em out like boom bada bing. Hold it down, you can crown me the king. Got a shout out to the Miz and Duke the Dumpster. We choke slamming everybody, power driving, hit 'em with a face buster. Yeah, this the show you need and it ain't no need for waiting. Mark, hold it down for the Can Crusher Nation. All about wrestling and keep it entertaining. Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Time to break 'em, let's go. Yeah, Can Crushers. Yeah, Can Crushers. Let's go.
Hi everyone, this is Ringside Rain and you're listening to Can Crushers Podcast. And now, here is your host, Mark the Mark Martinez.
It's about damn time!
In a little, pump it up.
I don't know the rest of it.
I barely knew that part, so that's good.
I was like, he's gonna yell, hello!
And you wanted to throw me off.
I did, Sir Goober. How are you?
Sir Goober's good. He's got a beer in his hand. He's already got one down, so it's a good day. How are you doing?
First of all, welcome to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I am Mark the Mark. That is Sir Michael Jenks, but I've learned you're a goober.
I am a goober. It's a term of endearment.
It is.
Although now we found out that my sister calls my brother-in-law that, so my girlfriend has to change the goober name. So I don't know what I'm going to be called besides maybe dumbass, jackass. We'll see where it goes. She's a nice person, so maybe not dumbass, but we'll find out.
If you don't know it, listen to the 40-year dash. The backstory's on there from this past week.
Yeah, and there's a great, going along those lines, there's great stories of me making an ass out of myself. So listen to the whole episode. You'll get a kick out of my embarrassment. Yeah.
So, a different way to start the show off. We're back in a good mood where each day is a step in the right direction. You're out of the grave and happy. That's essentially where I am. Plus, I'm 2 shots and now my first drink in.
I didn't even know about the shots. What shots did you have?
Straight up shots of Maker's Mark.
Oh my god.
Not a shot taking whiskey that you should be just doing fucking boom. Explicitive, by the way. That you should be doing shots on, but hey, it's Friday. Rebecca Black says it's Friday.
Hey, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. So is this the musical episode of Can Crushers that nobody has wanted and we're just gonna go there?
We did it before and it was probably one of our worst. Actually, it was, they loved it. They did, so. I have a dilemma, Jenks.
Okay, what's your dilemma?
I didn't watch Dynamite. I saw clips. It looked like an amazing show because I think I have too many things recording this past Wednesday. Between Big Brother and I am tapped out of TV besides one thing. Okay. Until the end of August.
What is that?
The Little League World Series. By the way, congratulations to Hollidaysburg, Pennsylvania. They've punched their ticket to drive 2 hours once they get back from Bristol, Connecticut, to Williamsport. I think it's probably about 2 hours.
Yeah, something like that. It's a hell of a ride, but congratulations to them. My new favorite kid on Little League World Series is the one that was wearing rancher's gloves. Those yellow, cowhide gloves as his batting gloves. Fantastic. New hero.
Yeah. And he went yard, too.
He went yard wearing them. It was fantastic. I could not have done that, and the fact that he did them in those gloves is fantastic. So,
hey, you have to think that Under Armour or Franklin or Nike or somebody's got to make a rendition or something of those now because of that kid.
They have to. They'd sell. they'd sell right now. If you're any baseball player or anything like that, you think it's hilarious. You're going to buy those gloves, and you're going to make it's lack of better terms, it's cheap money off of it right now because that's what it is. It's going to sell real quick for the next, I don't know, 3-4 months through Christmas season. So,
and Jenks and I have both worked in minor league baseball. We bring it up once in a while. I'm telling you guys, that's all that's on in the clubhouse is Little League World Series until the Little League World Series is over. You know, your team, fast forward, because the Sea Wolfies are Detroit, they don't care that this could now be Miguel Cabrera's last year. He'll have September to play. This is all about these kids. Major League Baseball players, and if you say minor league isn't major league, go F yourself. I will fight that till that's a hill that I will die on. Major League Baseball players from Major League down to Single A love Little League World Series. They were there. They understand this. So this is on in all the clubhouse. So you know somebody saw that and they're like, I'm going to fucking wear those tonight.
Yep. In memory of that kid. And you're right. They've been there. I mean, I just saw on TikTok today a compilation of a bunch of, names, who's who, the Major League Baseball players that have gone up through there. It's in their blood. And honestly, it's part of the sport. So they're going to watch it. They're going to love it. And how can you not? I mean, when you got guys with the Rancher gloves on, or, Big Al who's hitting dingers every week.
Right.
How do you not follow these legends? Or the kid that snuck past that his favorite actor was a porn star. The possibilities are endless. The kids are legendary. It's the emotion, it's the purity of the sport in that regard. So you got to love it.
I don't like that the broadcasters aren't at the regional or whatever. I don't like that they're there. They're both sitting at home watching the feed, and then the feed's coming a little bit later to us so they can dub over it or something. Yeah, they better be in Williamsport. And by the way, Pennsylvania plays, if you're listening to this and you don't follow this, Pennsylvania plays Thursday night at 7 o'clock against Pearland, Texas, who is always a notable team. But if you can be there to support, if you're a Pennsylvanian, or if you're a Texian, that's not the right word, and you want to drive to Williamsport, have at her. But Pennsylvania folk, if you're going to support a team, it's the Mid-Atlantic team that you want to give a shout out for. Jenks, you don't know about this. I'm off next Friday.
So I did not know about this. Thank you for that.
I don't know. We'll have to debate when we're going to do a show because we pulled the trigger. We're doing it. We were thinking about maybe pushing it off. My buddy had a tree come through his house earlier this spring when we had shit. We have some issues going on here financially. Mom's estate is catching up to me. But you know what? Fuck it. You can't get blood from a stone. We're going to Detroit Friday night to watch Saturday's game. By the way, Shohei should be pitching that game.
Oh, nice.
And then we're turning around and dropping off in Cleveland to see the Southside White Sox against the Indians. And I don't care. It's the Indians. The rest of my love.
Or if you follow my baseball team on MLB The Show, it's the Chargers of Lake Erie. But we'll just go there.
Oh.
Yeah. Use the old school, the grade school team name.
Nice.
Colors and that. But anyways.
So did you drop them? Did you drop them off of MLB? Cleveland's out instantly. You kicked them out.
I took Cleveland over. I took over the Cleveland team. Basically, didn't move them, but called them Lake Erie Chargers, so that I didn't have to move them. So I still use Progressive Field. Still have the team. So that's basically it. Just took over the team and made them the Chargers now.
Nice. So, good for you. Yeah. Super excited about this. It will be the first time for both of us to head to Detroit. He's been outside of it before. I've been about 20 miles away from it, so that's not close. It's second favorite team for him, my favorite team. He's an A's fan. We really didn't want to go watch a horrible A's Detroit game. Probably would have been a better one because I would imagine the Angels are going to, especially if Shohei is pitching, the game that we're there, it's not going to be. But
yeah, it's going to be good. That'll be a good game.
Yeah. And then the White Sox kind of bummed. You know, Tim Anderson might not be playing, depending. Probably not. But, yeah, I've been to Jacobs Field, or whatever the hell it's called, Progressive now, since it's been opened a few times. Well, not recently, but a few times. So I love that field. It's for the newest, there's my air quotes for the day, the newest old field. I think it still has everything you need.
I love it too. I think it's very underrated as a baseball field. Going there and being and experience baseball games in it. I love it. I love how it's nestled right downtown next to the queue. It's a fantastic field, but I'm kind of jealous. I think you guys are going to have a very good weekend. I'm hoping I can make it to Progressive Field in September. The Rays are in town. So I kind of want to maybe convince Moochie to buckle up and watch the Rays win or lose. The last time I went and watched a game with him at Progressive Field with the Rays involved, the Rays lost. It was like 5-0. It was called on rain. It was called on weather. The funny part of it was Christmas in July. So I had...
So it started snowing.
Well, I had Rudolph mocking me during the rain delay until they called the game an hour later. So the only thing we had was to watch a scoreboard with Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, playing the whole time. And it's 5-0 on the thing. And then they go, oh, the games are called. And it was 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, well, this was a fucking waste of a 2-hour drive, but okay. So, yeah. So that was fun. But we'll see if I can make it back. But you guys are going to have a lot of fun with that next weekend, I think.
Well, that's what I was... Now that they said Pennsylvania's playing Thursday at 7 o'clock, I mean, we don't have to be in Detroit Friday night for anything. So if we leave at like 1 o'clock, get out there by 9, we can still go meander the town, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm thinking, can I maybe squeeze another day out of this, head to Williamsport on Thursday to root on Hollidaysburg?
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
How far away is Williamsport from your house?
3.5, 4.
That's not too bad.
No, I mean, it would be a late night getting home. And
yeah.
Hopefully, I don't have the first driving experience, but
yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Could always see what happens and go from there. So, nice little weekend plan.
Yeah, hopefully. Oh, it's happening. I just don't know if I'm going to add Thursday yet.
Yeah.
Earlier this week, I texted a lot of the hooligans that listen to the show. Half of them been on the show, whatever. And I was bored. So I started a Major League Baseball team on MLB The Show. I'm tired of playing regular seasons and this, that, and the other thing. So I've created a franchise. Only people that I know besides Ron Simmons. But that's neither here nor there.
Damn.
Well, we took over the Royals. Nobody is older than the age of 18. Nobody makes more than $70,000 for the year. We're all super stud rookies. I played the first 5 games. Jenks, you were opening day starter. Perfect game, 25 strikeouts.
Thank you. You're welcome, everyone. I gave everyone a nice legendary moment legendary game to start off my career.
I am better than Yadi Molina, Johnny Bench, Mike Piazza, any catcher behind the plate, but I can't hit better than Ray Ordonez. But we have some big people. The English professor is lighting it up already. We're 10 games in. We're 8-2. The bullpen blew both of those, which we'll have to discuss if somebody stays on the team or not. The same person got the loss in both games, so we'll have to adjust that. But when we score, we score.
What was the highest score we've had so far?
36-0, opening game. Against the Guardians.
Outside of the 2 they deserved it. Outside of the 2 we've lost, were there any other close games? Or was it just like all blowouts except for those 2 that got blown?
When I simmed, I played 5 games and we got the wins on those 5 games.
Yeah.
It's when I simmed, then I imagine the AI is like, these guys are not going 162-0.
Yeah,
we have to throw some line.
We have to.
Yeah. They're closer when you sim them. They really are. And I'm not playing on Legend because this is all about the idea of this was let's see where people go after we leave the Royals.
Yeah. Yep.
So
that's how I like to usually do it is when I get really bored with games and I start moving into where can I go from here? Or like I get through all the franchise, I do whatever I want. Like seriously, then I'm like, okay, let's fuck around and find out here. And then I'll put in, like for college football, I created a bunch of, if it had anything related to like Army in the name, I would put it on the Army football team in NCAA and run them against Alabama and teams like that. So like Sergeant Peppers from the Beatles, Major Tom from Space Oddity, things of that nature. I'd throw them on the team, see how it ran. I obviously put them at 99 and just have a blast with it and see what guys leave in third year, who leave in fourth. NFL, same thing. You create a team, you get whatever you can for it, and then see where people go from there. That's a fun little way to change it up a bit. If you're into playing the cards and the dynasties and all that stuff.
Yeah, good
great.
for you.
But if you're not, I like doing it that way because honestly, I'm not taking it seriously anyways outside with this now. It's just fucking around and see what happens.
The only thing I'm taking serious that I should probably set myself down because I can. Everybody on the team's batting like 740 or something like that. I'm rolling in with literally a 236 batting average, and I'm like,
see, you're putting too much pressure on yourself. Also, it's always the catcher. The catcher's always the one with the lower batter average, unless it's a pitcher batting. So,
well, no, we got the new DH rule.
New DH rule, nope. Thank goodness. I'd have a probably 1.2 ERA or 1.2 batting average.
Right.
0.12.
I'm trying to make you
whiffing.
I actually threw you into bat a couple times to see if I could make you a dual player.
Yeah, how's that working?
You went 0 for 2.
Are you saying I'm not Shohei?
Not yet. You have to build your shit up from the bottom, literally, when you're trying to do that dual thing.
That's true.
Whatever. True. Video games, keeping it this way for a little bit. We'll get to wrestling. Essentially, AEW's promised by the end of the year. There's a link that you can order it. I have not seen it yet on the PlayStation Store, so I don't know if you can only get it from this link.
Yeah.
This is, as the kids say, sus a little bit for me. Until it's on the PlayStation Store, there's no pre-ordering for Mark. I would have pre-ordered it last week if it was on the PlayStation Store. I don't know yet.
Yeah, I'm not buying it right now until, like you said, until it's actually in an official, like, Xbox, PlayStation Store. I don't want anything to do with it. I'm also wondering if it's going to lean more into not a grappler like you see. Like, I think it's going to be more of a fun arcade style than it is an actual, like, real life type, like WWE tries to do every year with their game. I think this is going to be more of an archaic style to it.
Very smash button, I think.
Yeah, very smash button. I don't hate it.
No.
I want to see what it actually turns out to be. And when it gets to the stores, I'm going to definitely probably pre-order it and get it. Because at that point, you got to try it.
Yeah.
Although, would you buy a tiered, like a deluxe edition of the Fight Forever game? Or would you stay with the standard copy and maybe get the enhancements afterwards as an add-on?
Unless they're giving me a replica AEW championship belt or something with the big order.
Yeah.
It's first time out. I got bit, and it's been years now, so I don't. The Retromania arcade game that was, we actually talked to the developers, and then it got, COVID hit, they had to get new people, this, that, and the other thing. Then it essentially got pushed back for a year, and I had that pre-ordered the whole time. Man, I played it literally 4 times. I fucking hated it. It wasn't WrestleFest to me. WrestleFest is the greatest arcade game to me of all time. That and Tapper, by the way. Greatest arcade. Do you know what Tapper is?
Is that the bar one?
You throw the beer.
Yeah, we were through the bar. Yeah, with the beers. Yeah, I knew what it was. Yeah. As soon as you said it, I think that's the beer one. Yeah.
But WrestleFest is the greatest thing. If I could, I have it on the Odroid, but if I could still get the legit 4-player thing, squeeze it in the studio somehow, yes, I would do that. And I thought, man, they're trying. This is going to be fun. This is going to be... maybe I shouldn't have got it for the Switch, but it was only released on the Switch first. And then it trickled after that whole year. Oh, shit, Xbox and PlayStation's picking it up right off the bat. I didn't like it. We're 2 years removed from that interview, so I don't care. Go fuck yourself.
Man, those 2 shots are really taking a toll here.
No, it's the Blue Moon, man. This Blue Moon mango wheat is freaking phenomenal. I like Blue Moon in the first place, where you can drop the orange in and all of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't buying mangoes to try to stick in a can.
Oh, I couldn't even imagine how that would taste.
I would have to probably pour it in glass.
Well, even I'd still putting mangoes in there. Oof. Like, I have to be mangoes to me. Sometimes I guess I have to be in the mood for mangoes. So if I'm not in the mood for a mango tasting or an actual mango, I'm not gonna like it at all. It ebbs and flows with me, but
I understand.
Yeah. So I'm picky. What can I say? Maybe I'm bougie. If you want,
you are bougie. So essentially, that whole story came about that I didn't get Dynamite taped. That's where we're back to. I didn't get Dynamite taped, and I didn't know that until 2:15. We're recording on Friday. You're listening on Saturday or Sunday or whatever. But I didn't know that until 2:15 Friday.
Yeah.
That I'm like, oh shit. And I'm mad though, because the Brody match, like I said, I saw clips and everything, so I can talk a little bit about it. But man, what a fucking week to miss it.
It was a good week. It was a very solid week. It was
from last Friday when we stopped taping till now.
Now, yeah, it was a good week. It was a great week. Dynamite was great. It wasn't over the top with any too many big surprises or anything like that. So it was
Friday night was a huge surprise that we're going to start with.
Friday night, yeah. Well, yeah, Friday night, but I meant like Dynamite when I was alluding to Dynamite when I said that. But yeah, but I got you.
So what about you? I know you had to make an ass out of yourself, but the rest of your week, how was it?
Outside of making an ass of myself, that was actually a month ago. So I'm well removed from the asinine nature of myself. But, outside of that, pretty good week, solid week, busy as hell. I don't even know where the week went. Running over at work, just in general, doing things and whatnot. It's been a long week, so I'm kind of glad to kind of just de-escalate and have it done and over with. Did meet the girlfriend's other grandparents other grandpa and aunts this past weekend, so you can hear on the 40-year dash, did not make an ass out of myself in that regard. It was the previous month that I really completely went off the deep end on, but literally off the deep end. So yeah, it was fun, but no, this was a good week. Nothing too crazy. I'm trying to remember, did anything happen this week? Oh, Mark got added to the Fantasy Football League, so that'll be... Now, are you excited about this complete and utter shit show you've just entered into, or what?
Do we have the draft order yet? We're 3 weeks away or so. Do we have the draft order?
No draft order yet. I was planning to do it maybe a week out, 2 weeks out. Why? Are you trying to figure out where you sit?
Yeah. I want to know where I sit, because that's when I'll start game planning of what I'm going to take. Like, I know I want people, and there's people that I want, but I'm not going to look at those people if I'm drafting last. I need to completely switch my game plan of, all right, I'm not going to get an elite running back, so I better go quarterback or wide receiver, depending. I put way too much thought into these free fucking fun leagues. And then that bites me in the ass sometimes, because then I'm like, I'm an idiot.
Go off the deep end. Well, it happens, because I do it too. I go balls to the wall. Why not? Like this one, I have another free league I'm in, and then I have an actual paid league. And the paid league, I actually stink it up in. I don't know how I even
keep playing.
I don't know how it does. I don't know why I keep paying donating the money to the winner at that regard, because I just keep finding ways to lose. But yeah, I mean, it'll be fun. You know what? Don't put too much pressure on yourself. We already have a resident terrible drafter in our league who's perennial right at the bottom of the barrel. So nothing against him, but he just can't draft, and his team's kind of horseshit every year. So
I have been on probably a 5-year hiatus of fantasy football.
Okay.
So this is me getting back into it because there was a time that I had money in fantasy football.
Yeah.
And the money stayed in fantasy football. It never came back to my house. I've stopped. I won't do draft duels or anything like that anymore because I may have a gambling addiction, but I stopped. Boom. And it's only like fantasy football, fantasy baseball, fantasy basketball, which I don't know shit about. All these fantasy scenarios, I'm for.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to a casino. I get mad when I lose money at a casino. If I put $20 in and I don't win anything, I'm done. I know I just walk away, go get a drink, do whatever, don't play anymore that night.
Yeah.
No, fantasy football, I'm stupid.
Because you think you can outsmart the league.
Of course I do.
That's how it is. You think you can, well, that's how I am too. I can outsmart everyone here. Especially fantasy baseball. And then what happens? You get into a lull where you forget to check your team for like a week and a half at a time.
And Verlander pitches twice in that week.
And he's on your bench. So you lose that completely. So it's the same thing with me. Unless you're a diehard, you are not remembering. I had to give up. I think I was in 2 years ago. I was definitely within 3 pay leagues for baseball. And I did not check them regularly enough to have that happen. So now I'm down to 1. And it's only like $25. It's not like I'm betting the house.
Broke, right.
Yeah. But like for football, I just joined one last year because they were desperate for somebody left the league because they auto drafted and their team, they didn't like their team. So my friend's like, so he just up and left. So he's like, I'm already paid. Do you just want to take over the team? I'm like, yeah, sure. What did we do? We went to the playoffs. Because it was auto drafted. Didn't get that far in the playoffs, but we made it to the playoffs. And I'm like,
playoffs?
Shit, playoffs? Well, shit. If I can at least do that, that's fine. So I'm like, all right, I'll take over the team. I'll just keep going with the team and hope for the best. So it's hit or miss. And you can't get stuck on what you have drafted and whatnot. You just got to play it week to week. That's what I love about football anyways, because it's only week to week. And
one day
I have to worry about.
You said it on, well, when do you have it? I didn't look into everything because the Thursday night games we have to have it set by Thursdays then essentially.
Yeah, you would want to probably have it basically in play for Thursdays. Like you could probably put off the Sunday games if the majority of your team's playing on Sunday. You could kind of figure that out. Waivers hit. You can pick waivers. I think it's like 1 to 2 days. If somebody goes on waivers, they have to clear waivers. So I think it's like by Wednesday they clear waivers. Basically, or 2 days out, they clear waivers, and then you can pick anybody up you want. So that's kind of where the league rolls at. This league used to have 14 teams in it. We're down to 12 now. So it used to be pretty slim pickings for the most part, and those were the years I was kind of winning somehow. But
there's nothing on the bench. There's nothing on the bench.
There's nothing on the bench. You can't do anything about it. And so you do what you do, and yeah, so that's kind of where it's at. It's nothing too crazy. If you get turnovers, you lose points. Pick sixes, -6. Fumbles, -7. It's chaos. That's the point.
I'm excited for it. So you'll hear about that as football starts up. Last thing before we actually dive into wrestling here. Jenks, I was looking at going to the Backyard Brawl as well. My connections all fell flat because the single game tickets sold out in a matter of like 37 seconds.
Yeah.
And then season tickets are gone just because you get that game for Pitt. Now to watch it from either my house or your house, it's $250. So I will literally stay here Thursday, September 1st, probably call off Friday, September 2nd, and have some beers and watch the Backyard Brawl at my house.
I can't. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
It really is. I'm bummed though. But
it's dumb, but you can't really do anything about it. So I know I took days off for Labor Day. I get Thursday, Friday off already, so I'm not even worried about it. So whatever comes up, comes up. Although I'm going to be doing shit around the house. It's not like I'm going to have too much free time. I'm having hooligans over Sunday to draft people, so it's going to be a long day, which conveniently enough falls on All Out Day too. So with the riffraff out, watch All Out.
I've discovered that as well. So I was making a plea to make it to Jenks' house that day to draft and maybe have 1 or 2 beers and then drive home. Yeah. Then I put 2 and 2 together. Oh shit, it's All Out. No. So yes, I will be drafting from the beautiful confines of the studio. We'll make that happen. Not that I don't want to watch All Out with you.
I get it.
But
you want to be home.
I do have to work the next day.
Yeah, that's
we don't have. I mean, and I can't take this weekend and the following weekend. Like every Friday and Monday, I'm off until November. Oh wait, December because I'm going to WrestleCade. Yeah, so
yeah. You could.
I could.
You could, but
yeah,
you're being nice. I get it.
Right.
I get it. That's why I'm like, I've made sure that if nobody can come to it, because we actually have a couple from out of state that are doing this. Christy, I think you met a couple of times from Sea Wolfies.
Yep.
She's drafting from her state of Wisconsin, the Cheesehead State. We have my one friend Leon, who's drafting from Florida. So we're going to have a couple out of staters going to be basically remotely drafting. And then whoever
zooming it up,
or just, hey, if you guys want to sign into the draft room and get in there, that's fine too. And we'll do it that way. So more to figure out.
Yeah.
If anything, we'll definitely have Mark on speakerphone to hear him swear up a storm when people steal his picks. I think that'll be, classic enough.
I'll have my own war room here in the studio that day.
I'm very concerned that I'm planning to do this in the middle of my yard, so there's going to be a lot of motherfuckers drop during this fall draft. So I can't imagine it's going to be. My neighbors are going to have fun with it.
Your neighbors are going to be. They're going to put it on and win $10,000 on AFI or.
Yeah. Seriously. Well, they are all older in age. Let's put it that way. So.
Duly noted.
Yeah. Be a reality check for him.
Wrestling, Jenks.
What's that?
I know. Half an hour in, and we brought up AEW's video game. Fun stuff happened, but overall, I don't want to say matches were mundane, but no big breaking news that we think, right? Other than Ric Flair didn't want to call his last match. Son of a bitch wants to have another match.
Well, did you see the report? I don't know if anybody saw this report that he passed out twice during the last match. So now, listen, Rick, it's a pride thing now. Just let it go.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it.
We praised you last week.
We praised you last week, but this is a pride thing now. Just let it be. Let it go. You did wonders. We're all proud of you. Now just walk away and enjoy retirement.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. Nothing against Rick. I praise you for it. You did it at 73, but just walk away.
Be a manager. Do not be color commentary, but be a manager, go backstage or something. Just in-ring career, put the boots down.
Put the boots down, walk away, do something else, be a consultant, or sit and be one of the other legends, or if you want to call them legends, that just have a podcast and shit on the business now. Which I just saw Disco Inferno shit on Dax for some reason about he slaps his thighs and
of all people.
Yeah, of all people that doesn't do any of that shit. He fucking shits on Dax.
Yeah.
So that is what it is. But
well, while we're here, why don't let's do Friday night and then we'll take a break. Last Friday, essentially.
Yeah.
Take a break and then start the week. The rest with Battle of the Belts. Okay?
Yep, that works.
All right. So, SmackDown, I don't want to say nothing really happened until the last 5 minutes.
You can say that if you wanted to.
Yeah, I can say that. And it's just... I will rewind here in a minute, but Karrion Kross and fucking Scarlett are back. Triple H, man, saying, "Hey Vince, just leave me alone."
Yeah, if anybody had thoughts last Friday of Vince McMahon still there in secret, holding down the fort and running creative and all that, Karrion Kross came back and looked like a fucking megastar in just 5 minutes of the show.
Yeah.
That's
the last 5 minutes.
The literal last 5 minutes of the show. And they presented him like they should have presented him before he put on the BDSM demolition attire for Raw.
Yeah.
So Scarlett was there. Everything worked. Was beautifully done. This was the big FU to Vince. I think a lot of the next couple weeks, whether it's you want to consider it a big FU or not, I think it's the creative direction. Maybe I should say that a big FU to the creative direction that Vince was laying down, because a lot of these people coming back now, we saw it on Monday. They're going to start coming in with more interesting, intricate storylines for them to make sense, and the characters will be rebuilt and actually look like they were back in the black and gold brand of NXT.
Spoiler, I will not be watching it because I'll watch it tomorrow morning, or as you guys are listening to this. But there are people coming back to SmackDown tonight as well. It's already been out, which you guys have now known. It should be members of the Hit Row. As we go forward. I hope BFAB is one of them as well. Yeah. But I know it's definitely top dollar. But he was never, I don't think he was ever released because he did that TV show thing that he was doing too.
I was going to say he was doing that Hidden Treasures show for a while. I don't think I think they may have released him, but he may have been still within creative or like their TV production. Because remember, WWE still has the production company, I believe.
Right.
I don't think that's ever gone away. So he might have been still involved with that in some capacity. And honestly, I think he stepped away from wrestling for the most part because I had not seen him build anywhere during the time they were off. So hopefully BFAB comes back because I haven't seen her pop up anywhere.
She's been doing tickety talks and Instagrams. I don't think she's had matches.
Probably not. So she might need to get refreshed into the system again, but that's what the Performance Center is for, and that's what they have it for. So
Liv Morgan cut a promo, and the money was in Kayla's face. And I want to talk about that. Like, they booed the shit out of Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I don't blame Liv. You have her built as this underdog champ. I love the storyline. I was kind of upset that they booed her. But I understand it. Yeah. She looked really weak in that match against Ronda.
She did. She looked like she barely escaped with the title and that she should not have been there, which is really leading me to think that come Castle Grayskull, she might actually lose that title to Shayna. Yeah. Just the way they built her with Ronda, she couldn't function. She had to barely escape Ronda.
She's still hurt?
She's still hurt. The writing seems to be on the wall that this is Shayna's title to win. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of excited for, because Shayna should have been built as this.
A long time.
Like this, a long time.
Prior to Vampire Shayna.
Exactly. Prior to her biting Becky's back of her neck. But, again, we're sacrificing Liv for it. So I gotta ask, what is the end game with Liv? Is it Triple H doesn't see the money in Liv, or is it just he has a bigger picture for Liv that needs to require her to step back from the women's title at this point?
Maybe the bigger picture, because the money, Liv is selling merch like nobody's business.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So she is, get ready, here comes the hate for this week. She's the new little girl's John Cena. They love her. Yeah. She's the outcast, the underdog, the whatever. She is somebody you root for. She's going to have, and I don't mean just little girls, because a 45-year-old man's rooting for her as well. But the money's there for her. I think pull her back and maybe the Mania moment. This was that test run of what is she going to do for us?
Yeah. That's exactly where my head went. It was the Mania run. She might be the Rumble now, depending on Becky and how that's going to play out. She could be the Rumble winner, too. Unless they want to pull the trigger and say Becky win it twice, which I'm perfectly fine with, too, because that sets up the whole Ronda thing. I'm thinking...
Is Ronda in play?
I think she is, but I think it's now later down the line. I think Triple H is going to give her time off, has given her time off. I think she's going to be the one to maybe take it off of Shayna at some point. They're going to book a horsewoman versus horsewoman match where Shayna versus Ronda. I don't know if it's at a pay-per-view, but I think it's going to be at some sort of SmackDown or something where they're going to have a submission-style match, and that's how they're going to get the title off of Shayna and give it to Ronda. And that's how you build off with Becky from that point.
Shayna's going to be ruthless. She is going to get the boos and just hatred because we need a bad woman right now. And I mean B-A-double-D, bad.
You need a badass woman right now.
Yeah. And everybody still likes Ronda.
Yeah.
I love her, but she smiles too much when she's trying to be bad. She's happy to be there, but she can't play a bad person.
Right. Shayna can play that bad person. Shayna doesn't care about your feelings. So Shayna will play that role to perfection. And you're right. They do need somebody that's just the badass submission specialist in that women's division.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So back to Karrion Kross here for a second. Drew wins at Castle Grayskull because now you have your built-in feud for Drew because he attacked him.
Yep.
I don't know if he's getting the title instantly, quickly from Drew, but this is all leading up. Maybe we don't see Roman until Royal Rumble, WrestleMania time.
Yeah. I think that could be it. I mean, they're not going to bring him back for Survivor Series. They've destroyed that. We know that. That could be the case. I think I saw somewhere anyways that they need to get a title on USA because they're clamoring for a belt now. We talked about that, got it in nauseum.
Yeah.
How many times? So I think you're right. I think they're going to somehow, I don't know if Drew gets both titles. I think if they take the titles and give them to Drew, he loses one to Karrion Kross, and Karrion Kross is your top heel for the brand until Roman is back. I think that's going to be the case because they've been advertising this as an undisputed title match at Castle Grayskull, so they're not going to change it now.
No.
If they change it, it's automatically, Drew's winning.
Winning, yeah. You know
Drew's going to win it. So now they're going to let him take both titles and then Karrion take the title off of him. I don't even know what the next pay-per-view is, but
Roadblock, I don't know.
Roadblock, well, I think after that.
I don't know.
I know. But to that point, I think the next big show is going to end up being the season premiere of SmackDown, and probably the draft is imminent anyways, so probably one of those shows you're going to see Karrion Kross take a title and go to a new brand.
Yeah.
So,
and I think these are all, in my mind, fantasy. The steps that Trips is doing right now is making it watchable again. I'm still not live watching it because I have life, but it's watchable. It's not fast forward 3 hours and 37 seconds, you know?
You actually look forward to watching Raw because it's doing wrestling with storylines. That's why, God, we love AEW because it does that. It's a wrestling show with storylines involved. That's what WWE's getting back to. Right now, they're in a transition phase. They have to transition to from Vince's vision to Triple H's vision. So it's going to take time.
Yeah.
But I think over the next month, leading up to whenever the draft is, you're going to see that vision fully unfold. You're going to see new characters come back. I will be interested, though, to see if they're going to get drafted elsewhere. I can't imagine you're going to start bringing back people and say, okay, you're on Raw, Dexter, for 2 weeks, and then we're going to draft you to SmackDown. I just don't see that being the case. So I think a lot of these new guys are going to stay put for a while on their respective shows.
And I think it's a lot SmackDown heavy. Yeah. Nothing against Raw, but I think it's a lot SmackDown heavy. And I think prior or at Castle Grayskull, we get a huge, crazy mask-wearing, sweater vest type of guy return as well.
Oh man, why am I drawing a blank on this?
The Fiend.
Oh yeah, just put it together.
Yeah.
You're right. It has to. Well, I think that's coming.
The talks are.
The talks are happening.
Yeah.
It's we talked about maybe Bray's done. There's vision here.
Yeah.
And after everything that came out this past week with apparently Vince didn't like Bray, comments about the way hated that Bray was so protective of his character. I think it showed, and again, it came back to they forced Randy to win at WrestleMania. I mean, they didn't force him probably to win, but they said, Bray, you're not winning. It's going to be Randy.
Yeah.
That was just the domino effect for it all. So I think you're right. The Fiend's back. Is it the Fiend, though, or is it something new?
I hope it's Husky Harris.
He's had so much time on his hand. I can't imagine he would not try to come back with some sort of either reinvention or something brand new out of the box. He's so creative, he could do it. So
yeah, I'm sure Wyndham is going to be linked in there.
Yeah.
So essentially, that's SmackDown, because there was a lot of the Usos fighting with Sammy, and when is he thrown out of being assistant Us or whatever the hell he is?
Listen, the honorary Us, maybe he should win the title.
I'd be alright with that for a split second.
I wouldn't hate it.
I wouldn't hate it. Or maybe he gets a tag team partner so the Usos have somebody to fight against.
Yeah.
And because the tag team titles have to be split then too. And I think the whole bloodline splits at one. I mean, I don't know if they're splitting up, but if we're going to have these splitting of titles, it all happens in one night.
Yeah, I agree. And if it's one's happening at Castle Grayskull, then the other's going to happen. But who would be the shot at the Usos right now?
Me and you.
Yeah, that's exactly
That's
it.
the longest tenured tag team in WWE besides the Usos is me and you.
Unless they're throwing the Viking Raiders at it right now.
They're not. They're not ready.
They're not. Well, let's go off of this. Are they bringing a tag team back? But who do you bring back? Is it Top Dollar? Is it Hit Row? Can they get two members of Hit Row?
No possible way you send them right off the bat. We see, as we're going to transition to Raw here in a second, but we see something already in the makings for Ciampa.
Yeah.
Gargano just signed something long term with Pro Wrestling Tees, and he's part of boxes for the next. I don't think we're seeing Gargano coming back.
The only way, you're right, and the only way he could come back is if he had a special deal, and that's not going to happen. There's no way they're going to give Gargano a special deal that says, oh, you can sell your own merch and we can't make a damn penny off of it.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. Yeah. So.
Not that I don't want him back. Don't get me wrong. But Gargano's going to make millions on the indies or wherever he's just loved.
I think he's going to end up with, I don't know, I'm not going to say it's AEW, but I think he's going to end up with a big name promotion in the sense of he can do that and he can go do indie shows. He can do whatever.
Wrestle in Cleveland, for the love of God, yeah.
Yeah, whenever he wants. So I think he's going to get something open-ended like that to do it.
Yeah. All right, Rampage. What did you think of Rampage last week? And let me pause before you answer. There was a lot of hate of Mance Warner getting a title shot against Moxley, of people not knowing who he is. People love wrestling. Mance Warner was a huge MFer during MLW. MLW is still out there, but where do you think MJF came from? We've never heard of Mance Warner. That apparently you didn't watch any MJF prior. Yep. Because Mance Warner is crazy. Oh, they're just using Mance Warner because he won the Bunkhouse Battle Royal the night before, or 2 nights before, or whatever, the Flair's last match. Mance Warner's been around a long time. If you say you're a wrestling fan, no, they're not just picking rando. Mance Warner may be a great fit for AEW long term. Yeah. Like him and Eddie Kingston, now I want that match.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God, yeah. It'd be sadistic in its own right. Fucking Kingston walking down like a zombie, and then you got Mance Warner walking the fuck around.
Chainsaw Charlie.
Chainsaw Charlie looking thing. That was the closest thing I saw and I recognized to Bunkhouse Buck that from WCW days. Like that Mance Warner, I was impressed with him. And I like how a lot of people are getting all up and he's got an AEW World Title shot. Technically an Eliminator match title shot. And they've been doing this for a long time now. Thunder Rosa just went through this. She lost the match in Japan. That put I can't remember the woman's name off the top of my head. Yeah, I know everybody knows, but she got a world title shot in the U.S. a few weeks later because she won that match. I like that type of match because you never know. And sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. You know what? Mance Warner didn't win this, but it was
a hell of a match.
It was a hell of a match. It was brutal. And I'll be honest, I didn't know much about Mance Warner before the Bunkhouse match. And that I did a little bit of research on him afterwards because he had this world title eliminator match. Guy's good. It's a good fucking match.
Yeah.
Brutal. Down the middle. It's what we come to expect. I like Mance Warner a lot. Can he come into AEW, make an impact? Hell yeah. And to your point, I didn't even think of Eddie Kingston. Good Lord Almighty.
Yeah.
Like they're going to set the building on fire.
I put it this way. Because people were bitching, Mance Warner getting a title shot. Again, it wasn't. It was the whatever contender to match. When you go to independent wrestling, everybody goes to independent wrestling anymore. $5 front seats, You're not going to know everybody there. And it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's Rampage, it's on Friday night, it's late, It's their B show before they get the internet shows. Understandably, it is. Just watch it. That's my bitch for the week, by the way. Just watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
You don't need to know everybody. I don't know shit about NXT right now. I turn it on, and I'm going to love Cora Jade, or I'm going to love Braun Breaker, because I didn't watch them much. Or cool. You discover people that way. Yeah. Mance Warner may have just changed some little kid's life because he fought Moxley.
Yep.
Fucking people.
Exactly. That's how you do it. That's how you fucking do it. You find somebody's going to speak to somebody in the audience.
Right.
Whether it's by gimmick or just by what they do in the ring or how they act. You think, come on, let's go back to the 90s.
Come on, let's go back to the 90s.
Austin comes out as the ringmaster. You know him as Stunning Steve. Or some people don't because they didn't watch WCW. Or you didn't watch ECW. And you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And then he turned into this bald motherfucker who's MFing. And everybody loved him for the next 30 plus years and probably still will through the end of time. Why? Because you saw him one time.
Say John 316.
316 says, I just whipped your ass. And like a light switch, everybody's like, oh shit, I like that. Oh shit, he's feuding with Vince McMahon. Oh shit. And you can, the hate's coming for me now because I can feel it. I can feel the fire coming up from behind. Oh, they're comparing Austin to Mance Warner.
No.
What you're not understanding is not everybody knew who Austin was when he entered as ringmaster or as Stone Cold. You rediscover wrestlers as they enter the territories or the shows you watch. I guarantee you, anybody that loved Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, either watched them for the first time in FCW NXT when it was on, or you watched them for the first time where they powerbound Ryback through an announce table at Survivor Series 2012. And then you were hooked. That's how you create stars. And that's how people get ingrained in people's minds. And that's why we talk about them for 7 to 10 years. Give the guy a chance.
How many people did you know or watch religiously for when AEW started? And I'm going to throw one name out. Did you know who my man crush Sammy Guevara was?
No.
Before AEW started?
Absolutely not.
I saw him. I was Wrestle Circus. Bailey didn't either. But she loves him now. I agree, Bailey. I watched him at Wrestle Circus one time. Short independent group that ran. Cody was there. Britt and Adam were there. Sammy was there because it was in Texas. That's when I'm like, I could give this guy a shot. Wrestle Circus went to shit. Didn't see him for a year. He comes out with his panda werewolf head. I'm like, I remember him. Man crush ever since.
Yeah, that's the point. Like it's. Well, let's go back to Ring of Honor 10 years ago. Do you know who Claudio was? Do you know who Eddie Kingston was at that time? No.
Right.
It's those little people, and like for me, when AEW started,
you're calling Eddie Kingston little? No, I'm kidding.
No, I'm not. But yeah, I know what you're saying. But like to me, like when AEW started, everyone knew Chris Jericho. Most people knew Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Then you start getting into
who knew Britt?
Who knew Britt? IWC.
Me. Yeah.
You. Like people in like different, just the independent circuits knew Britt. Then like Sammy. Okay, who knew Sammy? Again, and I didn't know him. Who else knew him? Nobody else. Right? It was like, it's one of those things. That's why they had the big names up front. Right. They were going to build things around them at first. And now you're seeing everybody slowly kind of walking away and saying, okay, young guys, or okay, guys, here, take it over and run with it. And, for some teams and some athletes in AEW, it's a chance to reinvigorate their career after what happened in WWE to them. It's a way to invigorate themselves. FTR, perfect example. They had to reinvent because they couldn't do what they wanted to do. They were restricted. They had to be shaving Usos' backs and their own backs and all that shit. Now, we're loving them as 7-time tag team champions. We can't get enough of them. The list goes on. And for some, AEW provided that big stage to elevate who they were and to showcase how big of a star they actually are, a la MJF.
That's the golden goose, the whole thing, right?
That is the golden goose. Who knew MJF before that? And don't lie.
Yeah.
Not everybody knew MJF. No, nobody knew MJF.
All right, let's go back. Question, people, for you guys this week, and email us. Put it on whatever. Put it on the drip. I don't know what the hell the drip is. Put it on the comments. put it wherever. What was MJF's group name in MLW? Oh, because that's where he came from.
Yeah.
I mean, he came from Indies, but I mean, he blossomed at MLW.
Yep. Exactly. But you could take any one of these stars. Pro Wrestling Guerrilla has spawned, I don't know how many legitimate stars not even spawned, but they've showcased so many stars in this industry right there from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Yeah. So the fact that people take offense to Mance Warner.
And it really pissed me off this week. I'm like, it's fucking Mance Warner. Watch some of his shit before you comment.
Exactly my point. Like, I didn't know who the guy was, but I went out and watched some of his shit, and I'm like, oh, okay. It makes sense. Let's put him in an eliminator match.
Yeah.
Why not?
Did you really think he was going to win? No disrespect to him. No!
No, but, well, here's where this gets in people's minds. One person wins an eliminator match, and now they get so caught up. Let's go back to Thunder. I really apologize. Thunder. Let's hear the Thunder. Right? She has a match against someone probably no one heard about outside of Japan. Knew who she was. I cannot remember her name to save my life right now. Probably couldn't pronounce it anyway, so I'm not going to disrespect her in that way. But she won the match against Thunder.
Speaking of pronouncing stuff, you're a big fan of Korean pop music too now.
I know, right? Yeah, now, yeah. That is an unwilling participant in Korean pop music, by the way. I just want that known. Outside of that, outside of BTS, because it's Dynamite. So now, where was I going? Oh yeah, she won a match against Thunder, and then she gets a world title match. So I don't know if people were just like paranoid because they're like, oh my god, here's another no name, and I put air quotes around it, no name coming in and gonna get a title shot. I think they were so ready on the keyboards to write up their stupid tweets of ill-informed tweets of, I can't believe they're going to give this guy a title shot, yada, yada, yada. And then he lost the match. So what are they going to get upset about? Yeah. Well, why are they giving this no-name an eliminator match now when he lost? It's, if people can find, I'm sorry, I love the internet wrestling community, but sometimes you guys find something
idiots.
You guys are stupid idiots sometimes.
Mutants.
You guys will just find the littlest fucking thing to complain about for no goddamn reason. And I'm reading it like, come on, guys. It's not even worth it.
It's not. It's not. Really, the only other thing I want to talk about on Rampage for me is I'm so happy Madison Rayne is there. But she's a coach. Listen, we know this. Maybe sniff the TBS title years down the line just to give her a title there or something like that. She signed as a coach. My question is, do we have two coaches now, or did we lose Deeb? Not we, because we don't own AEW at all, but Tony calls us every once in a while.
Or just listens. One or the other.
Yeah, one or the other. I hope we didn't lose Deeb.
I feel like we have two. I can't imagine Deeb. There's been nothing that says Deeb's been gone. She was actually at a soccer game with with Wardlow, Orange Cassidy, and I don't know who the other guy was, but she was at a soccer game. She's hanging out with everybody. I think she's still there. I think she's just more or less taking a step back from being probably.
Well, two's better than one normally, right?
I completely agree because to me, Deeb is that all-around tactician. She knows how to get around the ring. I think Madison Rayne's going to be more that show woman, that more presentation-wise. How do you get yourself over?
For two people. I'm telling you, let me stop you there for a second.
All right, let's do it.
Anna Jay and Ty.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. Others as well. Like Britt, I love you. Yeah. But Britt could learn a little bit more. I mean, everybody on the roster, essentially, it could. But just to spruce up, I think, and I've said this since she came out, I think Anna Jay is a star. She just needs time. She's been injury plagued. I just think she needs a little more time. Do a little spit and polish, and you'll be good to go.
She's young, too. Yeah. And she'll get there. She will get there eventually in that. I completely agree. Listen, if you think you know it all, you don't. So anybody, not even professional wrestling, but in your day-to-day lives, you can learn something every day. And that's nothing against them. Even you might be the most experienced person in the world, but you're going to learn something new every day.
Right.
There's nobody above that. So I completely agree with that. Although I will say, I do kind of like Anna just randomly attacking people backstage now. This is fantastic.
I love the Dragon Slayer.
I love Dragon Slayer. I love the psychotic Anna running around backstage. So we'll see how this goes, but I agree with you. It's Ty Conti and Anna Jay. I think she's going to help bring the best or most out of them, and we can go forward and see where it comes from there.
Yeah. You got anything else on Rampage you want?
No, I'm just going back through the card. Nothing really on Rampage.
Yeah, not at all. All right, this is where we're going to take a break. We both probably need a beer. I've been through two already. And maybe I'll do another shot. I don't know. We do have something really cool to talk about in the next couple weeks, so hold on to your orgasmic nuggets, or I don't know. That just came into my head. I'm telling you, everything's hitting me real fucking quick all of a sudden. And it's built around one of our favorite subjects to talk about, mental health, awareness and everything. So stay tuned for that. That's really cool. And you're going to see us looking glorious in something. But as of right now, head to Collar and Elbow. Al is, I think it's just him, mass producing shirts daily. Check out collarandelbowwrestling.com. Use a promo code CANCRUSHERS, all one word, capital C and can, capital C and Crushers. You'll save 10% on everything you order. Jenks, I don't know if you've been there recently, but I'm telling you, he's just racking shirts out like every other day. Here's our new shirt. Here's a new shirt. Yeah. They're cool. So check them out.
He's a busy man. Head must be putting him to work a lot. That's all I'm going to say.
By the way, Al Snow is doing a comedy tour in the near future. And one of the dates, I believe it is October 28th in Pittsburgh. I need to make a phone call. I don't know where he's going to be, but he needs not pay me for a month in Compass tickets and head down to that because I'm sure.
What is the name of this comedy tour? Is it called Anyone Want Head?
I don't know. He just said he's doing a comedy tour and he listed dates and Pittsburgh was one of them. I'm like, oh God. I've heard some stories, but I can only imagine what you pay Al to talk about.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll really tell us more about him and Big Boss Man fighting in the kennel match.
One can only hope.
All right, here comes Al, and then somebody will bring us back. We'll be back in a minute.
Wrestling. A love and a passion we all share. I've started a wrestling brand. The wrestling brand. A brand founded on the aspects of wrestling. Two entities working together to create a product that connect emotionally for people everywhere. Collar and Elbow is the brand. Passion and love for wrestling is the drive. I am Al Snow, and this is Collar and Elbow, the wrestling brand.
Oh, that's another one right there for Jerry Swirls. Ladies and gentlemen, your Golden Girls favorite, the Golden God of professional wrestling, the grandma-loving, middle-aged messiah, Jerry Swirls, is here and is going to want to tell you to tune in to Can Crushers podcast every single night. You don't want to miss it. There's vulgar, there's some violence, there may be some sexual. I'm just kidding. I won't put that in there. It's all right. Tune in, check it out, etc., etc., etc. And if you don't tune in, I've only got 3 words for you. Suck my ass.
And welcome back to Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. Mark and Mike here, dropping all the hard beats. What?
Jesus Christ, that was loud.
It's a big welcome back this week.
We're dropping the heartbeats, and we restarted your heart with that welcome back from Can Crushers.
Have you had the beer Hoganus or something like that? It's Hoganus or something like that. It's like a white case, and it just says something like that on it. Maybe. It's German.
Let me look it up. I've had a Hogarden before. It didn't taste dirty.
Oh.
Okay. But trying to look up the label right now. Yeah, you can't see it right now, but yeah, it's like a white label.
Yes.
Yeah, Hogarden. I've had it way back when, like, God, I'd say maybe 8 years ago or something like that. It was all right.
Yeah.
Nothing to write home about.
I saw it, and I'm like, I don't know what that is, and I know you like more stuff like that, and I just don't want to buy a 6-pack of, or whatever, so I want to pick one of one and one of one and one of one and one. We don't really get that around our neck of the woods, so you have to be all in for 6 or 12, or a 4-pack of something dirty from last week.
Yeah. That's the trouble here. But, okay, I was going to say that's the trouble here is you have to buy a 4-pack or 6-pack to try something new. And I'm like you. I'd rather have it, make your own 6-pack and then try to sample all of these beers because that's the way I'll buy the 4-packs, the 6-packs. But I don't know why they don't do it.
My favorite place in Parts Unknown isn't there anymore by Golf Galaxy where we literally lived for a whole summer picking 6 beers and bringing 6-packs home.
Are you talking You Pick 6?
Yeah.
It's there, but they sell more 6-packs now than they do.
So it's not You Pick 6 then?
No. So what they actually took the Peachtree, so up here in Parts Unknown, there's a road called Peachtree, where you would see the You Pick 6 shop. Yeah. Where you'd see the You Pick 6 shop, they actually turned that into a brewery company now. So what they did is they converted a lot of them into the owner's brewing company, and they make their own beers. For the most part. So now it's like John Russell presents You Pick 6 or things of that nature. So they have they're more tap rooms than they are anything.
Which is nothing wrong with that. For a good night out or something like that, but
they have, and I will say they do have good beers from that brewing company and that, but at the same time it's like I kind of just wanted the old stuff or like let me get a 6-pack to go where I can pick whatever it is.
You get 3 that you really like and then 3 randos. So,
because if you get disappointed, you can always go back to one of the go-tos and say, okay, let me cleanse my palate, and then I'll jump back into these experimental ones.
Yes, exactly. By the way, talking about what I had last week. I drank 3 on air last week. And then I know people are dying to hear about my Pop Darts experience.
Yeah.
I signed to a minor league contract right now. But no, this is a really fun game. Like,
Yeah.
Pop Darts, check them out. Suction cup with darts, and you have to hit this little thing that you can move it every time if you want to. Keep it stationary. If you stick them on top of each other, the points are endless, but they can cancel really fucking quick.
Now, is there an instant win on it? Because
There is. Well,
I have said you can have an instant win too, right?
The guy, my buddy, didn't buy the board because he got the darts, and then they send you the scoring like app that you can keep scoring your phone or iPad or tablet or whatever. So that's cool. The board costs like $150 if you want their legit board. So he's like, I could probably make that, and we could put our own stickers or whatever on. I'm like, touche.
Yeah.
So that might be like a winter project for us, or put the you win someplace different than where they have it.
Right.
But if you want to buy all that, support them. It's a fun game. Like I said, I got signed to a minor league contract, very minor, like below rookie ball. But they did like me. No, it's fun. It's fun. I did bring one of the other beers that I had left out to him. He's like, what's this? I'm like, I know you don't like strong-powered IPAs, or I said, and this is not. I said, in fact, it's as weak as a Coors Light. It was 4.1% or whatever I said last week.
Yeah.
He took a sip of it, and he's like, this fucking sucks. Yeah, I had 3 of those last night, and I had to swallow them down or, choke them down. So he's like, thanks, you just brought me shit. I said, I did bring you those Simply Blueberry Lemonade, though, as well, to make up, to make up for it. He was like, all right. By the way, if you've never smoked shrimp,
Good.
Oh my effing God.
I've never even thought to smoke a shrimp.
Just one or many?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that. You can, trust me, I can put around many, many shrimp. I've never thought to smoke them.
He smoked 2 pounds of shrimp, and his family, meaning his wife and 2 children, both got a piece each.
Oh my God.
Yeah. With me eating most, because he said, I ate 2 pounds last week by myself, so I'll share it with you. I don't know if I was not being friendly to his family. Yeah. So, this week, I'm going to the farmer's market tomorrow, and I really want corn in the worst way, and he has corn already. I'm going to do this, husk it, put it in the, what the hell do you call it, aluminum foil, put a shit ton of butter on it. I'm a huge fan of Old Bay around this time of the year all the time.
Yeah.
And I'm going to cake it in Old Bay. Yeah.
Nice. Now you cooking it on the grill? Are you going?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
See, this is the time I really miss camping out and having campfires and shit. Because my family used to do a corn roast every year. We'd buy sweet corn from the middle of bumfuck nowhere in Crawford County, parts unknown, Pennsylvania, which literally you're borderline Amish country.
Yeah.
You're literally borderline Amish country there. You find this roadside stand. We'd buy a shit ton of corn from it. We'd go put it in a big pot, put it on the fire, let it cook for a couple hours, pour a beer in there, let it just soak up all the aromas and all that.
Yes.
And we'd have hot corn for the whole night, and it was fantastic. And then we'd lather that shit in butter and salt.
Did you throw it in a cooler then when you were done with it?
Yeah, cool it off in that. My brother-in-law tried one year to cook it in the cooler because apparently there was a way to do that. It did not turn out as well.
No, I've had it that way, and it's
it's not
still
good.
tough. It's tough.
Yeah, we did. Thankfully, I was like, you know what? I'm still gonna cook it in the pot, and while you do your cooler corn, and we'll see which one's better. And obviously, the one I made was better. So we just kept doing that after that. So, but man. Now, have you ever smoked corn before?
I have not. Have you?
I have not. I want to try it, though, at some point. Because I feel like it'd be really probably very delicious.
That sounds actually tempting for maybe in 3 weekends when I'm no. I don't have a weekend free, by the way, until baseball next weekend. If you guys listen, you know old school IRS Soup, my cousin, is getting married on the 3rd. So yeah.
Oh, okay.
So which bachelor party is the 20th? All right. Baseball next weekend, bachelor party, which we're going to a baseball game again. We're not crazy strippers or anything. Another baseball game on the 27th. He's getting married on the 3rd, which I was going to piss the whole family off and say we have to take 2 vehicles down, and then they would have to drive home Sunday morning as I drive to Erie. Then I realized, oh shit, it's all out. So I'll come home with them, I guess. To do the draft then. Yeah. And then the 10th, there is IWC is coming to Clearfield. I'm trying not to go to a lot of shows between now and WrestleCade to build up my funds, which, by the way, great, decent mail weekend. But it's 30 miles. It's 30 minutes away. I have to go then.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
You're right there.
Yeah. I have to go. Plus, Brian Pillman Jr. is going to be there.
Oh, yeah. You got to go.
Yeah. So I am not free a weekend until September 17th. As of right now.
Jesus Christ. I'm trying to think when you're saying that now. Let's see. If I were to do this, I'm not as busy as you. Like tomorrow, girlfriend's coming up. We're going to do stuff with her sister and her boyfriend. Next weekend, I have a draft on the Sunday. The 27th, I have to go to Grove City for a Sunflower Festival. Yippee, Skippy.
What? That's clearly the girlfriend coming out, right?
Yeah. So
are you going to get seeds there at least? There better be.
I feel like there's got to be seeds there, right?
Yeah, like a lot of cool flavored seeds.
Seeds, yeah, like things you can't
bacon
find
wrapped
before.
seeds.
Yeah, exactly. Seeds wrapped in bacon. Fan-fucking-tastic. But yeah, so I'm going to go to that in Grove City, 27th. My draft all out. Castle Grayskull is a Saturday, the 3rd, as well. So during that wedding, you're going to Castle Grayskull is that day.
Oh, IRS fucked this up.
So I just came to that realization this weekend when I was seeing it on Twitter this week. I'm like, oh shit, because we're going to get Bowman Drew the 3rd, and then we're going to, once we get to Dynamite, we're going to get to that one.
Bailey, stop telling it.
I know, Bailey's just spoiling things. But I'm not as busy as you. After that, it kind of opens up. I'll be pup sitting when my sister goes on vacation, but that's not until mid-September.
Yeah, but then that actually starts where we don't even talk to each other on Saturdays because it is college football.
College football, there's no communication. And I gotta give the girlfriend the crash course of, good God Almighty, if we're sitting here, we're watching football.
Yeah.
So fuck.
Sidebar, back to video games. If they would do a pre-order right now for NCAA, whatever the hell they're going to call it, would you buy it a year ahead of time?
If it was real for PS4, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, PS4's dropping it, and PS5's dropping it on the store.
Oh.
They're saying for $100 you get part of Virginia Tech's rock or whatever. Are you buying? I'm buying the most expensive thing on college football when it comes out next year.
I hate EA, what they've made Madden so far, but god damn it, I'm probably going to buy, to your point, the most expensive fucking copy that they have of NCAA football.
Hopefully they let us do it in payments.
That would be fantastic. I will get on a payment plan.
Yeah.
And we better get a fucking rock. I want a piece of, what is that, Clemson's rock, where they run down the hill?
Yeah, I don't know why I said Virginia Tech, but yeah.
Well, I'm really hoping...
You get to pick your college. You get to pick what you want.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Pick what college, pick what tradition, pick whatever you want. We'll send you something aligned to that. Give me a t-shirt. Just give me something fucking good from that college.
You're going Oregon then, right?
I gotta go Oregon. I gotta go with the team.
Yeah.
Although, here's the thing. If we're getting pieces of history and pieces of the build of like things at those establishments, I think that opens it up to, do I really want Oregon or do I want...
I could buy a T-shirt tomorrow. Yeah.
Exactly. I can buy an Oregon T-shirt. What can I get? Can I get a piece of Clemson's rock? Can I get a piece of this history, that history? What do they?
Can I get one of the kids that Iowa waves to in the... I'm a horrible human being.
I think you need to stop drinking shots before this.
It's a much better show than last week's show.
I will say that is probably my favorite new tradition is the Iowa Wave. I think it's obviously feel good, but it's one of my new favorite traditions that they had.
That was going to be, once we won the 1.9 million billion trillion things, that was one of the stops, dude. Like it or not. I mean, we would have, probably this couple of us or several of us that were going to rent an RV and Mark pay for all of it or whoever won, we would have sat down quickly and said, all right, this is how we have to, because there's only, 13 weeks, right? Yeah. So
how are we doing this? Yeah,
we have to hit the big ones. I don't need to go. Get ready. I don't know if we have tons of Alabama people or like Alabama. I don't need to go there. I want the cool. I need to go jump around at Wisconsin. I need to wave to the kids. For sentimental reasons, I do need to go to Virginia Tech because that was Ethan. I was going to say my son, like nobody knows his name. That was Ethan's first, college stuffed animal that he went to. He called it Julio, the Hokie. I was telling him a Hokie, and he said Julio. I'm like, all right, that isn't... does he have a name? It should be Julio.
I think he does, but I think Julio is a way better name than whatever the fuck it actually is.
Right?
But you know what? I would go to Virginia Tech with you, but see, you have the sentimental reason. I love the Enter Sandman.
Oh, no, I agree, yeah.
But no, I agree with that, but you have the sentimental reason, but yeah, oh man. But go on, go through your list.
There was this country local band that my mom and my godmother, my aunt, would follow around prior to my aunt being married. I think they actually played at my grandfather's 80th birthday party, too. They always sang Rocky Top. So for me, I'd have to go to Tennessee as well to hear Rocky Top. Yeah. We were starting at the Backyard Brawl, so I don't care what anybody says. One, because I went to Pitt and I love Sweet Caroline. Many people will hate. I love Beaver Stadium. I've done stuff there, and I always say, Beaver Stadium, where I live, is about 3,500 people, okay?
Yeah.
Beaver Stadium is what, 156,000 roughly?
Something like that.
That's 40 fucking Ridgeways in that stadium. And I've been there when it's standing room only for Michigan, Ohio State games. I need to go to the big house.
Yeah.
And I hate Michigan.
Yeah.
I hate Ohio State. I need to go. I need probably do Big Ten in randoms, and then maybe next year head out to the West and see what North Dakota does or whatever.
Go to the Fargo Dome. I mean, that's kind of where my head was. Close up. If I would have hit that billion, it would have been close up. Go to any college stadium close. So Virginia Tech's kind of close. Wisconsin's kind of close. You'd be able to go to those different areas. Would not go to Minnesota unless it was fucking September.
No shit.
I'm not going anywhere near those places in November. But yeah, it would have been the closer college football stadiums and then start going out in the U.S. after that. Maybe Oregon this year, but I think it would have been waited till next year because I would want to do a West Coast just
by itself
at that time. Yeah.
Is there a place you never want to go because you just hate that school so much? Even if it's a cool tradition.
I don't know if it's cool traditions that hate. I detest, I'm sorry to these people that live there, but I detest Alabama. So I could not go to Alabama. Oklahoma's grown on me, so I don't mind that. I have one team per sport, whether they're connected or not to the team that I actually like, that I just absolutely detest. So it's like Alabama, who I detest, and this one, Yankees, I absolutely detest in Major League Baseball. Those are the teams. So it's not like the tradition's there for, the tradition's there for Alabama, but they don't have like a fancy,
They
fun,
sing the
loving thing.
Alabama song.
I don't care about that whatsoever. I mean, I wouldn't mind going to the Swamp. I think that would just be cool to be in the Swamp. I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I would like to go to Georgia just to experience.
I want to see Uga.
I want to see Uga.
I'm paying to pet Uga.
That's it. That's exactly it. I want to see Uga. I mean, it's just being in those stadiums to me is worthwhile, except for Alabama. Fuck Alabama. But that's where I'm at right now. What about you?
I don't care if I ever go to USC.
Really?
With a pat. The only person that I will say ever came from USC that I like is Troy Polamalu. And it's I don't know athletes from baseball. I probably do know them, but I just don't associate them with USC anymore. I don't know. Well, Reggie Bush, and it's not because I don't like what they did or anything. I've just always hated USC.
Well, that's fair. I do hate USC. I guess to me, I think seeing Memorial Stadium would be kind of fantastic.
Right. Well, then I'll go when there's a soccer game there.
That's fair. But if I'm going when Oregon's there, I'm fine.
All right. Well, all right. If you're going to be that much of a dick, if Pitt's playing USC, I'm going.
Well, that's the thing. I would use my team to go to USC.
Right.
Right. I mean, that would be why I go to USC. I agree. USC I hate, but Alabama's top tier. I just cannot stand Crimson Tide with a passion. But that's where I'm at.
I have a lot of college that I don't like. Like you said, the Swamp. I can't stand Florida. I can't stand Miami. Ugh. The Seminoles. Ugh.
There was a very hot minute that I liked Miami.
Yeah, when all the druggies and killers were there.
Yeah, that was pretty much it, too. And I could get a Stephen Barry's jacket for $10, and it was like a leather jacket, so it was fantastic. It was beautiful. It was nice and warm. By the way, Stephen Barry's, if nobody probably knows what Stephen Barry's is.
Yeah.
It was the greatest store to ever exist. It was like cheap ass.
It was starter.
Prices,
it was starter on discount.
It was starter on discount, and it was my store. I loved every minute of it. I was so pissed when they took it out of the mall up here. But
we're going to continue to battle, so let's battle at the belts.
Let's battle at the belts. Back to wrestling.
Yeah. First, let me say, I love the card. I hate the hype they put on Battle of the Belts. And then we get a compacted hour.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, there's nothing else on TNT on Saturday nights that you can't get a 2-hour spot. And give us some other matches. It was a great card. But it was just, you couldn't swallow Wardlow and Lethal before you got Rosa and Hayter. And then, holy shit, you're getting Claudio and Takashka. Like, you didn't have a minute.
No.
Buy 2 hours and give us promos or something. This is the only time. Like, they put on great shows. I loved everything about this. But
it was too much.
I don't want to say it was rushed because the matches were great. You didn't have a minute to process what you just saw before the next people were in the ring for a big match.
Yeah.
And I understand the booking. Yes, cool. Holy Christ. But just give us more.
Sometimes I think sometimes they book themselves into a corner with a lot of these events and that. And I agree. Battle of the Belts, fantastic. This might be my favorite Battle of the Belts.
By far.
Of the three.
Yep.
Just because of the matches on it. But again, to your point, does this make you, this is something you didn't think you probably realized you needed. You needed time to process a great match. Not everybody realizes that when you have 4, 5 hours, buy one, get one extravaganzas going on.
Right.
Now
it took this to realize why it's booked sometimes.
Exactly, because they have to book it out so that you can get time to process and settle down because you get so worked up. Mark, were you exhausted by the end of the hour?
Sweating. Like I didn't know where to stop. It whatever time I was watching this, I was 45 minutes in trying to figure out what Wardlow, he won, but holy shit, wait, they're not taking that title off of Wardlow to put it on Lethal real quick. And I agree, the title looks great on Lethal. I love Jay Lethal. I've always loved Jay Lethal. But you can't do Wardlow like that already.
Yeah. No, you can't. There's no way. And so I actually don't understand why they continued this on Wednesday. To me, I feel like, okay, they attacked Wardlow. I have no idea why they're continuing this. Is it just they need a challenger for All Out and they're just going to give Lethal another shot at it? I mean, I get that, but at the same time, I hope that doesn't mean, now that we can go into Dynamite a little bit here, now that FTR is a little bit involved, I hope that doesn't mean, FTR is not sniffing another title shot.
Right.
Here. What are the ramifications here? And I swear to God, I might flip something if we get a 6-man tag with Wardlow and FTR at the pay-per-view. Like, I love them. That's not how we should be booking. That's not what we want. This is not what we want.
Yeah.
FTR needs... the fans are clamoring for an 8-star FTR.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Swerve in your glory and our glory.
We got 2 weeks now. I know they can build it quick, but I don't think you build it quick with FTR.
That's why I think tonight on Rampage, there's going to be a lot going on, especially since we hear from Swerve in your glory. Our glory, I keep saying your glory. The Swerve in our glory. I feel like we're getting a face-off tonight. Whether we want to admit it or not, a lot's got to happen tonight. I mean, they're trying to jam. We make fun of Battle of the Belts being 3 great matches jammed in 1 hour. They're putting 25 things in 1 hour for Rampage on a regular basis. So tonight, it's going to be fast and furious, but we're going to get some sort of confirmation. I got to think FTR is going to be part of it. This is how they kickstart shit real quick in 2 weeks. I mean... But they have a history of making it work, too.
They do. I mean, they do.
I don't know how the hell they do it, but they do it. Kingston and Punk is my classic example going back on that, but...
I agree. I'm going to sneeze here in a minute, so I apologize.
God bless you.
I'm going to stare at my light real quick, too, and it's right here. As I point at my nose that you guys can't see. Rosa and Hayter. Oh!
There it is.
There it is. Everybody knows how much I'm infatuated with Britt. I love Britt. I know Britt, all of that. I don't know, man. Of all of this, after 1 o'clock in the morning when I actually processed it all, I thought this Rosa Hayter match was the match of the card.
It was hella good.
I mean, I'm not taking anything from Claudio and Takashka either because... Fuck, that could have been that's a match of the year. Yeah. People clamor for that. But what they built with Rosa and Hayter.
It's the emotion part of it.
Yeah.
It's the emotional match that you wanted in the card. Right? I mean, you have Wardlow and Lethal. That's just for the title. There wasn't anything personal until after the match.
Right.
Takashka and Claudio, pure talent. On display, you knew what you were getting with that, and you knew it was going to be a spectacle and a masterclass in wrestling. Hayter and Rosa was that emotional, we need this match because we need to feel something in the middle of this. And that's exactly what it was. It was the match to feel something. All the feels were there. And, oh my God, it was so good. Yep. I got to talk about this. It was so hard not to find spoilers last weekend because I couldn't watch this live. I had to wait till Sunday night, not checking social media and running into Battle of the Belts bullshit and like seeing all the spoilers. God, thank God I did because that was just fantastic the way they did that.
Yeah.
And the way this match played out and all of it.
I think the writing's on the wall. Britt's taking it from Rosa. I mean, I really do.
So do you think? Let me ask you this. I don't know. I probably asked this several times, but we talked about Britt taking it from Rose. Is there now? We've talked about the heel turn, but we thought it was maybe Britt on Hayter. Does Hayter turn her back on Britt to kind of be the first challenger before? Because we've mentioned Jade's going to probably be the one to take it off Britt. Is Hayter that first step in between Jade and Britt, and Hayter just turns on Britt?
How isn't it? By the way, Hayter's also announced for Wrestle K2, so Mark will be a split between Julia Hart and Hayter. Now, there's a million legends there, and not saying that these two aren't, but
you're hearting and hating right now.
I know. I don't know. I don't know if I want to go in hating people or loving people right off the bat. But I'm tackling babies and grandmas to get most of these women's autographs. Yeah, I would have to think. I would have to think that's, and no disrespect to Jade, she's great. She still needs a little bit of work here and there. But does she need to be the one to take her from Britt? Can't she run the TBS division for a while? I know you're going to say mid-card, She's still a baby in wrestling. I'm okay with her having the TBS title 6 times before she gets up to. Now, I will bitch about that, so mark that down that I said that. But I will bitch about it, but it makes sense. It's just that check in her resume.
I agree. And let me go off this. I'm not going to say that. I would say it's more of, I think Jade's still going to have the TBS title for a long time, unless what's going to happen at All Out, probably with Athena, unless she takes it off of her. Because if she doesn't, I can't see anybody doing it unless they're building up Anna Jay to be the threat. She's lost it twice. They're going to try to build her up to be the 3 times the charm. I don't know.
By the way, it's not Statlander. Statlander's on a shelf again. She's having her other
out.
Knee. Again, poor. Right. I feel so horrible for her because getting that push again and then boom.
Yeah, the knee gives out. So hopefully Statlander can come back healthy as ever. You already repaired 2 knees, so you should be good to go. I think let's make the run after that. So Godspeed on the recovery on that.
She needs it though. When she comes back, I think she needs to be a big player right off the bat.
I'm going to say it, piss around with this. You let Statlander become the big player.
Yeah.
I would feign to say she's either in the title picture or she is the champion very soon after coming back, because Statlander's there. Statlander's ready and she's there.
This is I'm throwing money around. She's money. Yeah.
She is money. So yeah, Statlander's there, but I could see Jade hanging in the weeds. I think by Revolution we're going to see the title change. So I'm not saying Jade's the next 2 pay-per-views coming in and taking the AEW Women's title. I just don't think it gets past Revolution that she's not playing in the main event card. I think they've got to have a loss. Somebody's got to beat her in the next 6 months.
I agree.
I think it was a little, whether you agree or not, it was a little too close a call with Madison Rayne on Wednesday. I think that's when that veteran element, we start seeing the cracks in the foundation. The vets are getting to her. They can pick her apart. So we'll see what happens. Something just happened.
Fernando Tatis suspended for 80 games for drugs.
No way. No shit.
Whoa. Sorry.
No fucking shit.
Yeah.
Here I am like an idiot with the NFL Network on because there's a game on. But hold on.
Yeah, because preseason matters, says Tom Brady and Josh Allen.
Yeah, I know, right? Listen, first of all, I can't help that I'm obsessed. Second of all, yeah, Tom Brady taking a fucking
month off of everything.
Month off.
Well, if he does have issues, as a human being, I feel for him. But he's like, I don't need preseason. Josh Allen's like, I'm all right. I'm an elite quarterback.
But to be honest,
I agree with him.
I gotta agree with him. Yeah. Oh, freezing cold takes, because I just pulled it up on Twitter. This combo is going to be fun to watch. It's a picture of Soto and Tatis. And freezing cold takes.
Nice.
Anyways, wrestling.
Yeah, all right. So, Claudio and Takashka, I want it again. This is the match that, like, you want again. You want again. You don't care if there's a title involved, if they're fighting over a Blue Moon Mango wheat or whatever. It was phenomenal. I can't do justice how good it was. It was great.
I was going to say that. I can't even talk about. There's no words.
No.
If you haven't watched it,
You're an idiot.
Find a way. You're an idiot. Go find a way and watch this because it's a pure masterclass. Some people can call it clinic. It's masterclass. And how the fuck Takashka is not signed in AEW yet? I don't know what the fuck's going on. Maybe he just wants to do this for a short term thing and go back to Japan. But god damn it, if you let this slip through the cracks, you're missing out.
How long? We'll get to WWE. We'll get to Monday Night Raw because I do want to talk about Raw. So Jenks will take the lead a little bit on Dynamite, but I'm going to ruin it right off the bat. Do we get Takashka Punk soon?
I think you have to.
That's what he's here for, right?
Yeah. I think there's got to be a warm-up match for Punk. So I feel like if he's here and you have a limited time with him, you put him in the ring with Punk because I'm sure Punk wants to wrestle him. And I'm sure Takashka's not going to say, no, I don't want to wrestle him.
FYI, he returned Wednesday night.
Yeah, if you didn't see that, come on, guys. But yeah, I'm wearing the CM Punk shirt while we record this too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he has to. At some capacity, that would be turning down a major match.
So are we setting up? All right. Again, I didn't get Dynamite or anything like that, and I don't know what was said. I just saw it was returned. Is All Out Punk Moxley?
I think it is.
Punk gets both titles. Takashka
maybe challenges.
How long is he here? Is it going to be we're going to create Mark and Jenks Can Crushers wrestling match on Dynamite? Or do they make a pay-per-view for this? I'd have to imagine you can't give us this on free TV.
They can if they've been advertising it for the past 3 months. Grand Slam is 2 weeks away, 3 weeks after All Out. They've been advertising it. They can definitely run Takashka Punk as the main event of one of the Grand Slams.
But you're losing money then. I'm going to be that guy.
I think there's bigger money on the table, to be honest. I'll let you be that guy, but I have bigger money on the table here. But be that guy.
The buys from across the world. I mean, does Across Seas get AEW live, or do they have to watch it? I'm saying this true life do they get it live? That on a Wednesday night at 8:00 or Thursday morning at whatever the hell time it is over there, you're going to get it then for the TV ratings and this, that, or the other. I would think selling it to Fight or wherever you're watching it from, they get more money. Change my theory. Those are all questions.
I will change your theory. And here's my theory. Full Gear, we get the match we were supposed to get at Forbidden Door. It's Punk and Tanahashi. That's the money match.
But Full Gear's how far away?
It's only 3 months. It's only 2 months.
How long? Yeah, but that's what he's been here. I mean, normally you get like 90-day visas.
But I feel like, well, yeah, that's fair. But if he's only here for 90 days, then Grand Slam falls in your 90-day window. But he was here for a lot longer before. I think he was here in the beginning of June, right? For that. So honestly, we might lose him by All Out. Let's be honest.
And then he trickles away, and then he comes back on another. I mean, I don't know how visas work. Listen, I don't. Nor
I think you can re-up them if you have work in the country. So
he's fucking got work anywhere he wants in the country.
I get that, but I think he needs to have the AEW contract. So if they don't secure him in the 90 days,
Well, all right.
he probably has to go back for like 30, lay over, and come back, something like that. I just feel like, yeah, but they've been giving away so many free matches of his anyways. They're still going to do it. They're going to give it away on Grand Slam. It's a big name. It gets you the TV views in the country. You still have the Tanahashi match in your back pocket if that's going to go forward like it was supposed to go forward in Forbidden Door. I think that's still going to happen at Full Gear. I think he's coming over for that match alone. So I think they have a bigger money ticket in their back pocket here to say, we still have Tanahashi and we can use it on and get the buys. Because let's be honest, Mark, as much as we love Takashita, Tanahashi's a bigger name and he's going to sell a lot more tickets.
Okay, then let me play devil's advocate on all of this.
Let's do it.
When's MJF make his return? Is he?
I think it's Full Gear.
So he's simmering until then.
I think he was only supposed to simmer till Forbidden Door. And
Right.
that didn't happen. But now, I think because of the injuries and everything else, I think now they're kind of like, they just push everything back 5 months.
So he's just
hanging out. He's getting paid.
drinking and hanging out. I don't even know if he drinks, but
I don't know
tonight he is. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe he's having a little bit of the bubbly and just making the money off of it.
Good for him.
I mean, good for him too. So that's kind of where my head's at.
AEW fans remember, and I'm not saying wrestling fans in general don't remember, but the white heat's not there anymore that they had.
Yeah.
How do we get the white heat back on them? I don't know, speaking about MJF, of course, still.
Yeah. I don't know, because even the only idea that immediately pops in my head would not get white heat, and that's attacking the main event of Tanahashi and Punk. Nobody's gonna fault him for that.
Yeah.
They're gonna cheer him because he's back. At this point, he's gonna get cheered to be back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, glad you led with that. We get a double switch.
You think so? Now,
people are. He shit on the company. He shit on Tony Khan. He shit on all of us. And then we have not seen him. He comes out tonight, and I'm sure I haven't seen any spoilers or anything. He comes out tonight on Rampage. I'm jumping up and down that he's back.
yeah.
It would have been on anything that I've looked at. So he doesn't. So I'm ruining it for you guys that didn't watch Rampage yet. Whenever he comes back, I'm happy. I'm that guy that loves that guy. Nobody's going to, you said it, nobody's going to be mad that he's back.
No.
So you have to have Punk. Because let's face it, Mox has carried it. Awesome. We love Mox. Mox is not carrying these feuds forward.
No.
Punk has to shit on us shortly. As fans.
Yep.
You guys didn't reach out to me. Go fuck yourself. Whatever he wants to say. Again, tattoo. I don't know who I'm picking between Punk and MJF when it happens. It's one of my all-time favorites against my now current all-time favorite. Yeah. Let me sit here and sweat in every other bodily function that's going to happen that night. And I'm going to be Mark. My mom duly named me, as I say all the time. So I am going to just lose myself on that match.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all going to mark out. I know very easily who I think would win that match.
I hope it is. Nothing against my tattoo buddy.
Yeah. But to your point, hopefully it is. But unless they're playing a different game, if Punk's turned by then, what are we getting? What kind of games is he playing at that point? So
Long-term booking. I fucking hate it.
and we love it at the same time.
By the way, I forgot to mention this at the top of the show. Apologize for no spotlight this week because it was a Tuesday night scheduled recording, and she's also an EMT. She got called away, and I'll just leave it at that. So could not record. I'm not going to say ghosted me because like Wednesday morning she reached out and said, hey, this is what happened. I apologize. Whatever. Cool. She's rescheduled. But yeah, she's an EMT for her shoot job. I don't need to go into details.
Yeah, she's doing better work than what
talking to me.
Yeah, nothing against you, Mark. We love you, but she's doing bigger, better things for the world.
Thank you, Bailey. Yeah.
Bailey's defending your honor here.
So, yeah, and any wrestler that makes it this long to listen to any of that, I've always told them, real life hits, I understand. Just let me know at some point. If you completely just forget that I exist, I will forget that you exist as well. But, yeah, I don't know, it came from Instagram, and I think I read it for 15 minutes, and I'm like, sweetheart, because I don't want to mention her name, it's okay. And I felt bad writing that it's okay, we'll reschedule this, that, and the other. She's like, thank you. I'm like, okay, we got it. It's on the paper calendar. You're good. And if it happens again, we'll do it again. You're saving lives. Yeah. I'm drinking beer talking to you. We're good. All right. So lead us into Dynamite as we were fucking all over the place.
We are all over the place. All right. Going into Dynamite. Quake on the Lake. We start with the coffin match. This was actually, to me, I mean, it had some great spots. It had some good spots. I thought the ending brought everything around in a perfect circle, the way it transpired. What do you think?
What I saw, what I clips and highlights and everything of what I saw. You guys know how much I've been shit on Darby for the last 8 months, essentially. This was his best work in the last 8 months. And it took somebody like Brody, my boy, to bring it out of him. It's not done. I don't know where they're going next, but this is going to happen again.
I feel like that's good point. I feel like the rivalry between Brody and Darby head-to-head might be done. I think this is now a battle of Sting and Darby versus the House of Black. With the events that transpired when Sting came out of the coffin, spoilers if you haven't seen it, and his eye was misted and it turned into a mist. By the way, I'm loving that anybody that gets misted somehow transforms in a way.
I hope I get misted at WrestleCade, by the way.
I just want to see it truly emo after that, where your eyes just turn black and black and black till it consumes your face. But like we saw it with Julia Hart, we saw it with Sting. We talked about Penta. When he got misted, he turned into Oscura for a little while there. So I love that it's transforming people and turning people to hate and dark side in that. So I want to see more of that. But yeah, to that point, this is more now of a group versus team type faction battle going on here. I think Darby and Brody they're done with each other at this moment. Are we going to get, though, let me throw this at, I think we're going to get more of them in a group setting.
Yeah.
But I think they're done from personal rivalry. Okay, before I say what I was going to say, what do you got? What were you going to say over there?
Well, I'm going to go back to Julia spitting on me. First of all, that may be, wow, it's clearly fantasy booking this week. But that might be something I really want. But I took it all in the wrong way. But yeah, I just want to be listening to My Chemical Romance and the whole emo thing.
Welcome to the Black Parade on 24/7. That entire album.
Yes!
Embrace the album.
We're leading up to Sting and Darby, which we wanted for months, I think. I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It might be Sting that turns.
And that's what I didn't think, because it's Sting! The Icon Sting! He's never been bad.
No. He's been an anti-hero, but he's never been bad. So that'll be an interesting turn on this whole thing. Interesting turn on this whole thing. Do you think we're getting a 6-man tag at All Out?
Of course we are.
It's going to be Miro and Sting and Darby.
We're setting up for a lot of 6-man tags across every fucking organization here in the near future.
I know.
And I hate it.
I really hate it too. I feel like this doesn't need a 6-man tag. This specific, I get Castle Grayskull. They just don't want to put the title out there yet. Maybe Bayley's not 100%. Maybe she wants to get a first match in, being in a tag environment. Great. The Trios tournament, we knew it was coming for a long time.
Yeah, I'm all right with that.
Ready for that. But this match itself, I don't want it to be a 6-man tag. I want it to be Malachi versus Miro in some match. And then if you're going to bring them back in, it can be definitely Brody and Buddy versus Sting and Darby here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I agree.
Yeah, so I think writing's on the wall. I did love the ending of this match because I thought it was perfect storytelling. It started with Brody hanging Darby and eliminating him that way in the Battle Royal, and it ended with Darby hanging Brody and putting him in the coffin. Also, I would be remiss if I don't say this. Thank fucking God we didn't get a coffin drop through the fucking coffin like we do every single goddamn time.
Yep. Agreed. I didn't see that. I figured it happened. Well, there's no spoiler.
Yeah. But I'm just saying, I'm sarcastically saying spoilers. It did not happen. They did not go through the fucking coffin.
Shucks.
So, I know, right?
All right, what's up next?
Up next, we will have, so go in order on Bleacher Report because that's what I have up. Lucha Bros versus Rush and Andrade. It was a good tag match. It was tornado tag, Mark, surprisingly. Hey, nobody had to tag in or out. We could have had that in a no DQ match that was a couple weeks ago, but
right, it's the same thing.
Beggars can't be choosers here. So, yeah, I mean, it was good. I think this was more or less here to build up Rush and Andrade for the Young Bucks match, which we know who will inevitably show up in that, I think, now after what transpired on Dynamite. We'll get to there when we get to there. But I liked it. I thought it was good itself. I just wasn't over the top of it.
From what I saw, I think it kind of, for everybody that still doesn't know who Rush is, coming from the old ROH, I think it was just, here's Rush against everybody that you love in the Lucha Brothers.
Yeah. And putting it in that context, you're right. It was a showcase of Rush to kind of get him shown off. And I think it also got them a win to get into for the Trios tournament.
Yep.
Because let's be honest, Death Triangle's in it. They don't need any recognition. People have been clamoring for them to have a Trios title. I think everybody in this tournament, except for maybe one or two teams, people have been like, they need a Trios title. They could be the Trios champion.
Yeah.
Rush and Andrade, they didn't have Dragon Lee there, so nobody was really considering them for the Trios. So I think this helps add a little bit of mustard to their case that they could take it. After that, Luchasaurus just squashed Anthony Henry. Nothing really significant here. Jungle Boy tried to get Christian Cage, but nothing really happened with that. So
I didn't even see that, so I'm good.
You're good. You're good. I still think, though, Luchasaurus is turning at some point.
Yep.
In the match that maybe... Oh, wait, let's go... Oh, here we go. This was where we saw Lethal Singh and Dutt with the War Dog, and then FTR comes out to help Wardlow. No altercation, nothing really big going on there, but really not happy if this turns into a 6-man tag at All Out, but it could happen. So
Sanjay just kicks. Everybody else will look great.
Yeah, and Sanjay's going to get
decimated. Yeah.
Yeah. We go to Starks and Aaron Solo, whatever they're calling him now. Nothing. The Factory, I had no thoughts that the Factory could do anything close to touching Ricky Starks.
Nope.
So yeah, and then for some reason Hobbs was pissed about this, like he thought the Factory had a chance in hell. So I don't know what the point of this was.
Please tell me Hobbs doesn't go from one faction to another faction. He does not need the Factory.
If I go off the promo that happened before that, basically he said, "You better just handle this business." He was basically he told him to piss off because they tried to recruit him, and it was basically, "You just handle the business tonight," and that was it. I think he just wanted to beat up Starks for that.
Good.
Next up, Madison Rayne came so close yet so far from the TBS title.
She's there, and we said for Ty and Anna, but she can do a lot for Jade too. Jade's got the personality and the bitch and the baddies and all of that, but she's there to polish Jade as well. Guys, Madison Rayne never in WWE or anything like that, but she carried herself in Impact and in NWA and around the Indies. Like, she is, a lot of women that I talk to on spotlights and everything give a lot of props to Madison when they come across her. So she is wrestling through and through. So
yep,
yeah.
Agreed. Came out so close. Fell a little bit short. Nothing. If you guys thought it was going to be the end of the streak, I don't know what to tell you. It wasn't.
It wasn't.
So then after the match, Athena actually attacked Jade, got a hold of Jade because she was disguised as a baddie. So imagine that. So
good.
Little sprinkle on that.
I'm glad they did that. For real. Yeah. Like, just get her in a little bit. Okay.
Yep, get her in. It did get announced, but we were talking about Britt entering the title picture, going to be the one to take it off of Thunder. It seems like it's almost announced that it's probably going to be Toni Storm and Thunder Rosa again at All Out. They made it a specific point to mention Chris Statlander's not there, so Toni Storm is the number one contender right now for the AEW Women's title. So I don't see that anything crazy is going to happen there. I got stopped because I think there's a Xia Li coming out. We're recording.
What is it on, by the way?
It's on Fox.
No, it's not. Not on my Fox.
Oh, it's on my Fox.
It is definitely.
Try FS1. They sometimes put it on there.
I have the Jets and the Eagles.
Oh, because you're closer to Philly.
Am I closer to Philly?
Yeah. You're in that market.
By a half a fucking hour?
Yeah, basically.
I don't know why I'm switching off from baseball, but all right, go ahead. No,
okay.
I get the greatest NASCAR races on FS1. I am not getting SmackDown tonight.
Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
Oh my God. They're kicking it off with a women's tag title match too. Title tournament match. Shotzi and Xia Li versus Raquel and Aaliyah.
I wonder if I'm getting it on tape delayed.
You might be.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, probably. You'll definitely get on FS1 during the week.
But 6 times. But okay,
yeah,
go ahead.
at least.
Oh, SmackDown's on at 11 o'clock-ish tonight.
Oh, fuck that. Good luck with that. So, then finally, we come out, AEW Interim World Title match. Moxley, Jericho, Lionheart was on full display with WCW music, Mark. It was fantastic.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, WCW music. Jericho had the attire on from the run.
I saw the attire.
Yeah, straight up. It was straight Lionheart. Classic Lionheart.
He got busted open. Shout out to Dave LaGreca, Bully Ray, Mark Henry, and all those guys on Busted Open. But
he got legit busted from that turnbuckle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looked nasty. It was
his face looks fucked up today yet.
Yeah, it was a pretty hefty gash from what they saw in the aftermath. But yeah, so they
again we knew though. Again we knew. Yeah,
we knew. Loved the earring being ripped out of Moxley's head, though. That was an interesting touch to the match. So
that was gross.
It was
That
gross.
was the whole Jeff Hardy being handcuffed or ear cuffed to the ladder.
Well, was it as bad as? Here's my thought: was that gross, or was Jeff Hardy getting his earlobe twisted with a screwdriver gross, and handcuffed to the ladder? Which one did you think was the worst? I would say the handcuff to the ladder because that just looked nasty.
Yeah. All right, go ahead. Yeah, good.
But so yeah, I mean the match itself was great. It was a great match, but we never thought there was a doubt. I was wondering if Punk was going to show up at Quake on the Lake. It was close enough. It was in Minnesota. If something big was going to happen,
then
to lead up to All Out, it was going to happen then. And of course, Punk walked out. We got the stare down. We got Mox flipping off Punk at the end of the show. We built up the world title match. This is the interim world title. The title's getting unified at All Out. So we're there now.
Did you... Everything you just said completely makes sense. I agree. But did you think Punk's return was this soon? I figured Punk's return was going to be at the pay-per-view.
I didn't know. Well, here's the thing. I didn't know the severity of his injury. I didn't know if it was like legit. It was a legit injury, obviously. He had surgery and all that. But I didn't know if it was like a legit, he was going to need 4 to 5 months to recover, or if it was a legit, he can get back in 6 to 10 weeks.
Right.
Type thing. To me, if they were going to have Punk come back, I didn't see them personally doing a 3-month build for the interim title and the world title. I knew they were, my heart of hearts, I was expecting them to put it on the pay-per-view where they had to fight each other to unify the titles. So it was either he was coming out before All Out, or if he came out at All Out, we would have to wait another 2 months. I just didn't think that was realistic. And I would have thought he would have came back closer to a pay-per-view. So I think this was just the perfect timing for them, and it worked out perfectly well. That doesn't mean we won't get some sort of debut return maybe at the pay-per-view. There could be somebody. I don't know who. I'm speculating. I'm full on speculating over here, so just don't mind me.
No,
I'm just throwing it out.
I thought you were going to say, and you didn't.
Why would I we're a couple weeks out. I got to win a 6-pack here. I can't give away all the secrets of the trade.
It is. The 6-pack will be on. I'm feeling guilty now that I have to put the 6-pack on the line, but it needs to be on the line because holy shit.
You feel guilty all you want. I have the perfect in. You're going to be distracted that weekend with a wedding, Castle Grayskull, All Out. This is the perfect time for me to slide in, hit you with a briefcase, and steal the 6-pack.
It really is. It really is. Because
that's all I'm saying.
That Friday night, we're not leaving until Saturday morning. So I will have to really prep because we have to do 2 predictions. We have to do the whole recap, 2 prediction shows. Yeah. I am one, I don't like that they do, both organizations are doing shit on the same weekend. I don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I don't like it, but I don't hate it either. I'm going to watch. I'll watch and be fully engulfed in both of them. And now I have something to really watch with WWE now. Now I'm invested in WWE again, so it's like, okay, we're hitting our payment on this all. But to your point, man, that's just a lot going on that weekend. That it's like, when do we get a break?
I have to see how long his reception is. Nate, I love you. Let's take a break for a minute. Because we're going to come back and talk about Raw. We're over 2 hours. But
we are. I'm going to go on record here and say, don't leave the reception early. Just fucking enjoy it. Enjoy yourself.
Well, wait, because it leads up to other things. We'll be back in a minute. We'll talk about this, and then we'll talk about Monday Night Raw to end the show.
It's Miss Reality, Maddie Runkowski, and you are listening to the Can Crushers Wrestling Podcast. I mean, it's not as real as me, but you could listen to my episode.
Welcome back, everybody, at Can Crushers Podcast. I want to talk fast.
We can't do that on a third segment ever. I'm I'm 5 in with 2 shots. So.
I agree. I'm on number 4 right now. I had to do it because I know some people listen to us on 2x speed, so I wanted to speed it up a little bit there to just mess with your speakers. So, on that note, we're back, Mark. You wanted to what do you want to banter about a little bit? What do you want to go off of?
First, I said, I don't know, probably an hour and a half ago, that I had a decent mail week. In only 2 pictures, but one, and I'm going to show Jenks. You guys cannot see, but you'll know. I got finally my Jerry the King Lawler.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
High spots, so legit. And then one I've been looking for a long time because, again, she's been in and out of wrestling, very mental health surrounded around her career, was in AEW for a hot second, never in WWE, a lot of Shimmer and Rise and stuff like that. But what she does for the mental health awareness, she's hit home to me. So, and both of these have to go in studio. So, at some point, I have to fucking change everything in here to get shit where I need to before I start the outside. I have a ton for the outside of the studio. Whatever. Smiley Kylie Ray.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. I've seen her live once at a Rise show. Very young in her career. Didn't pull the trigger then. Pulled the trigger now because now I know she's. Listen, we have demons, and I'm not saying demons. We just have stuff. She's got them too, and she tries to spread the mental health. So she needs to be in the studio with me. If she was a side, because my Lacey Evans one is an 8x10 the long way. Son of a bitch, she would take over for Lacey Evans, and Lacey Evans would be kicked out. I really need something good 8x10. What is that? Not lateral. What is it? What is that called?
Lengthwise? Is it horizontal? Lengthwise, horizontal?
Yeah, but they call it something. I don't know. Landscape.
Oh, okay.
I need an 8x10 landscape to get Lacey Evans from fucking staring at me. Because I have no other 8x10, and she's always in my peripheral vision. And it's pissing me off. I don't know. I despise her all of a sudden. I don't understand why.
I was going to say, when you put it up, did you appreciate her at that point? Did you like her at that point? And now it's just because she's in your peripherals, you just hate her all the time?
It's just that she's... It's not that I hate her as a person. You're froze. Right. You're froze, by the way, on camera.
I see that.
But I don't know. Well, I don't think she's long in his tooth in WWE. I don't know if she fits Triple H's business.
I don't know if she does either. I don't know. She could end up becoming a jobber in some capacity unless he has some grand plan for her right now. I don't know what it would be, but I could see her becoming more of a jobber player at this point.
Yeah. We were talking before we went to break about Mark missing Castle Grayskull and everything. So people who have just found us and everything might not have heard this story. When Mark got married, there was wrestling in Clearfield, which is like a half an hour away and everything. Mark asked his wife if we could move everything up about 2 hours. So after stuff got done, me and my groomsmen could go to wrestling in Clearfield in our tuxes and everything.
How'd that go?
I didn't go to wrestling that night. But I'm not part of the wedding. So I have the Peacock app. If this extends into late in the night, I've listened to baseball games at like nieces and nephews' school plays or stuff like that. Can I not watch Castle Grayskull at a wedding?
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, and I see I'm still frozen, but correct me if I'm wrong here. Did you not get in trouble earlier this year for watching a football game, basketball game, baseball game at a wedding or some sort of function?
Yes.
Are you at a point where you're just like, you know what? I want to watch Castle Grayskull, and you just say, fuck it?
Or do I leave early?
I mean, you could leave early.
This is legit family, though. Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You know, there's cousins that you go to weddings and you're like, I see this cousin once every 6 years. This motherfucker's been on the podcast.
Bailey's yelling at you.
He's like, him and his sister, God, family, I love you all. But there's number one cousins and everything. Like, these are the cousins. Like, we're all blood, but he calls me right now. I'm driving to Pittsburgh to bail him out of jail.
Yeah.
There's other cousins that, like, in Chicago, I'll be like, yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
No, because we all have those cousins. I mean, I have my two cousins, Pat and Steven, that I love. And we're like brothers, and my sisters love them and all that. So I would say...
You're back! Yay!
I'm back, yay! I would say if it's that deep of a family connection, as much as I love wrestling, I'd be staying at that wedding and celebrating.
Again, his mother is my godmother as well.
Yeah, so you cannot listen, I know how much we love wrestling.
Can I see if they can at least put it on a Jumbotron at the wedding? He's not going to be mad.
Okay, they could have a TV at the wedding. You could see if they would put it on. My guess is they probably wouldn't, because wherever this is going to be at does not have the Peacock network.
I'll bring my Roku. That's what I'll bring to the wedding.
You would be the story of the wedding then, because they'd be like,
and then turn my
Roku,
and then turn my hotspot on my phone, because the facility might not have Wi-Fi, or maybe they have to pay extra for the Wi-Fi, and I don't want any extra costs to him.
Yeah.
I'm probably not watching Castle Grayskull live, is what you're telling me, right?
No, I don't think you are. I love the plans, though, and I love that you were going to willingly bring a Roku device with you. Now, if I hear a story of you setting up in a corner with your phone and like 5 of you are in a corner somewhere huddled around watching Castle Grayskull, I think that would be hilarious. But
I can't imagine it's not going to happen, at least.
It might happen. It might happen, but I'm just saying. Probably
the Humpty Dance will get me on the floor. That, or it's tricky.
Yeah. So,
or 2 shots and 5 beers.
That too, which you're going to do anyway. So you're going to be on the dance floor. You know what? Let it loose. Dance the night away. You can just make it a whole 12 hours of wrestling on Sunday after the fantasy draft.
I was going to say, yeah. Which means then you bunch of hooligans can't be dropping any snide remarks. And I know several of you will.
I'm going to give you snide remarks regardless, so don't worry about it.
Whatever. All right.
I honestly, I feel like you're going to be hungover for the draft. So if I'm not making major noise, I'm not doing my job. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. So, again, if you want to see our entrances, type in Martinez entrances on YouTube. You'll be able to see how me and my groomsmen came into wrestling theme songs.
Did you know Dan Mucci came into Ric Flair's theme song for his wedding? I didn't know if you knew that little tidbit, but for Can Crushers,
I've heard, for Can Crushers, they might not have, but I've heard it several times, yeah.
Yeah. So Dan Mucci somehow convinced his poor wife for Ric Flair's theme song. I'm fairly certain he did not tell her it was a wrestling theme song until right at the end, right before they went out. So
that whole story came, again, if you're a new listener, you're going to get it here. My wife wanted to do kind of like The Office going into the church. And, my mom was still alive. My grandmother raised me. And my mom raised me a lot, all my life. But lived by, like, my grandmother's rules. You don't do stuff like that in the church. We're Catholic, first of all. It wouldn't have... Yeah. We're not walking down to Beyonce Single Ladies and then, The Funeral by Youngblood or anything like that.
Right.
That's not happening in a Catholic church. So I'm like, that's not going to cut it. I'm like, if you want to walk into the reception with music, that's cool. We can all do our own thing. And I thought, cool, she'll take care of this. She's like, yeah, you guys can do whatever you want. Well, she didn't get want out of her mouth, and I was calling the English professor, and I said, Kelly has just given us the okay to walk into wrestling theme songs. That's not what she said. So then we have people fucking claiming, like, he took Macho Man, my buddy took Ric Flair. So I was like, all right, I have to do something that she likes and that I like.
Yeah.
So we came in as Bailey, good Bailey, when she was,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we had Flair, the Iron Sheik, Triple H, Duggan, Shawn Michaels, Macho Man.
Wait a minute.
The kids did New Day.
I have to go back. The most random part of this whole story is the Iron Sheik was an entrance.
It's one of the best ones.
I didn't know this was on YouTube, so now I have to go look this up. But
I'll just share it later on. I will legit just share it. You guys are listening to this maybe at 7 o'clock Saturday morning. I'll share it again around noon today. Yes. The funny story is, like, these guys brought props as well.
Oh my god.
Shawn Michaels bought a white vest that he's never worn again in his life for $45. Ric Flair bought a fucking robe, and these guys, like, they all have real names, but you only need to know. Like, he bought a robe and a wig.
Yeah.
For this.
Exactly, yeah.
Duggan, a 2x4, but he bought a huge ass American flag.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So once I heard them, I'm like, oh shit, we gotta get Bailey stuff.
Yeah.
So I got streamers, and I didn't, it's her day, I had to kind of cater to her a little bit. So we just want, like, Ultimate Warrior streamers and, like, headbands.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'll be posted again.
Yeah.
So, I don't know where I was going from there, but let's talk about Raw before we get too long. I liked a lot of Raw.
Raw was good. Raw was very good.
Very controlled or built around the control. I like that. By the way, get ready. Hate on Mark. That outfit Bailey was wearing was not good. Like, she's been off for a year and a half. I understand that, but oh god, not helping Bailey's cause is that she's not in wrestling shape yet.
Fair. I guess to me, I didn't care, but I get what you're saying. She's not fully there yet, and I think that's why it's a 6-woman tag at Castle Grayskull, because that's exactly it. She's still got the ring rust, has to knock it off a little bit. So
yeah,
we're probably not going to see Bailey at top notch for at least a couple months here just to get her rolling.
And that's why I think it's a couple months program with Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Because Becky's gone. Essentially, Becky's now dancing at WrestleMania, the promo thing that they had.
She's crip walking. She's cooler than any one of us.
I know she is. Hot damn.
Hot damn, Becky.
So we get that. We get the announcement, essentially, of the tag team tournament. And we'll break that down as it happens. Cool. Get ready. I didn't hate Rollins and Dawkins. And I fucking hate Dawkins.
Dawkins is better than people give him credit for. Here's what this said to me, Mark, though? The tag team of the Street Profits is holding these two down. This is what it said to me.
Yeah.
Montez Ford last week really shown we've been talking about for the whole summit. But Dawkins had a freaking pretty good match. Maybe it's a Seth Rollins thing.
Right.
Maybe it's Seth Rollins thing. Give me a couple more matches with Dawkins in singles competition, and it's really going to solidify in my mind that the tag team of the Street Profits, I don't know if they've been restricted by it or they've outgrown it. I don't know where that line is right now, but I think right now, whatever it is, they're being restricted within it. So I think they have to be two single stars. Maybe we don't need a turn from either Ford or Dawkins. Maybe we just need them to say, "Hey, man, I want to
working out. Yeah,
this isn't working out," or "Hey, I love you, dog, but I want to go pursue a singles title." And then they just walk their own ways.
I go after one, you go after the
other, and we'll do it that way. And someday down the line, we see them meet up for a heavyweight title.
I'm all right with that.
I'm all right with that, too, because it's showing week to week. And again, this could be just Seth freaking Rollins pulling shit off the ground and polishing it and turning it into a diamond. But we knew Ford had the talent. Dawkins has now proved he has talent with Rollins, or at least chemistry, really good chemistry with Rollins. It could be the Street Profits just need to break up so they can do their own thing.
Yeah. See how I turned around to them all of a sudden? The Acclaim,
yeah,
the Street Profits.
You're loving them now. 2 months ago, could not stand them.
Yeah, well, I'm not waving their flag yet, but Edge and the Mysterios, man, I read, again, hours before we came on, Dom's on the shelf for a while. Thank fucking God. And I hope the shelf means NXT. And I'm not disregarding NXT, but I hope we don't see Dom for a while. If he's in Trips' picture, cool. He's young. He's got it. He doesn't have all of it, though.
I think Trips recognized that he needs some time down in the Performance Center. And so we're going to see Dom obviously taking a step back with the injured angle, but Dom's going to be back. Also, does this make Rhea look like more of a badass?
Yes. Did she beat the Christ out of him? Yes.
Yeah.
Which she needed, because she was losing heat.
She was, but now she's been beating the shit out of Dom, carrying him into the arena and dropping him on the ground like a sack of potatoes. Good God almighty, if not every person in that roster is afraid of Rhea Ripley right now. They should be. And like, you can say, oh, it's only Dominic. No, Rhea's going to fuck you up somehow, some way. But, so this is, go ahead.
Rhea needs to be bigger than the title right now.
Yep. Agreed. So here, how do you get there? We've had our issues with Judgment Day. We've documented it. Everybody has heard us talk about it in nauseam. How do you get them? How do you get her there?
Decimate guys.
Yeah. Do you just let her run rickshaw over Ezekiel and he's probably gone for
done
now. He's done now. So Elias, when he comes back or anything like that, there's apparently an Intercontinental title tribute going on too.
We called for that 2 weeks ago.
We did call for that 2 weeks ago, and they're finally doing it for this Intercontinental title match. So that's good. But maybe she just needs to run through guys. I will say this now. I think Rhea's in the Rumble in January.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The women's Rumble?
No, men's.
Oh.
I'm calling men's. She could pull double duty here.
All right.
Run through the women's.
The Beth Phoenix China thing.
Beth Phoenix China thing. I could see Rhea. If she's not in it this year, she's not winning.
She's not winning it.
I'm not saying she's winning it.
But
she's in it. She's going to get in it, cause damage, maybe eliminate 1-2 guys, and then get ousted. Right?
Deal. I'm all right with that.
That's what I was talking about. She's not running the gamut. Now, I think she makes an impact in one, comes into the other. But yeah, I think Rhea's in the Rumble this year.
Keeping the whole Judgment Day Edge thing, we're going to get a tag team match with Edge and Mysterio against Judgment Day. I'm not excited, but I like it more than, again, find 2 other people to be involved, at least.
Yeah.
I don't love it whatsoever. I don't completely hate it now. But, again, I'm still not Judgment Day for life.
For life. I will say, yeah, we're going to get that tag team match. Probably happen at Castle Grayskull. So to me, I had fantasy book this. That's the moment you bring Wyatt out. And that's your savior of the Judgment Day type thing.
Yep.
And we go through all that we talked about a couple weeks ago or last week. That's where you bring out, they're worshiping this person. And maybe start the rhetoric now of, it's not just about us going after them. There's a higher power here calling for them. Because then that leads to Ray and Bray, or Edge versus Bray.
Yep.
And you want to talk about selling tickets. Wyatt versus Edge?
Yeah.
My God, heaven. I'm in, fully invested at that point.
You talked about your boy Zeke being out. Are we getting Elias back?
I think we got to get Elias back. I think Trips is like, this is not working. They want Elias. We want Elias. Everybody wants Elias. We don't want Elron. We don't want Ezekiel. We want Elias.
What did this do for Owens, though? Are we going to get a little push from Owens?
Owens is going to the moon. You know why? Because he's Kevin fucking Owens, ruthless Kevin Owens. He's not jovial Kevin Owens. He's not anything but the fucking, what was he called? I can't think of his name. But he's going to be the Kevin Owens of old. The one we saw in NXT, the one we saw come up to the main roster. He's just ruthless as shit. So, I think that's the Owens we get.
So, draft coming up that same fucking weekend that my life is a clusterfuck. Essentially, we get Roman staying on SmackDown. Drew is staying on SmackDown because he'll probably have the title by then. And then Karrion Kross stays on SmackDown. These titles split. Is it finally Kevin's title on Raw?
I think it is, but I think Drew goes to Raw first. I do think Drew's going to Raw. I think Karrion stays on SmackDown with the title. If we were to fantasy book this now, because you're not going to move somebody you just brought to the show, right?
Right.
So I think you move Drew with one of the titles over to Raw. You sit there, you have him lose. I think Kevin beats Drew for the title on Raw. I don't say it's right away, but I know it has to be in the near future.
Have it be. I don't know what title's bigger anymore. We say they're all props. WWE books the Universal as the biggest one.
I know. And that's kind of frustrates me because it should be your name brand, your namesake company title. The right. WWE title should be your big title. But they had to make a world title for Fox to appease them, or, Raw when it was on Raw to appease them. But it's got to be the WWE, but I feel like they're going to give Drew the WWE and put Karrion Kross in the Undisputed or the Universal for right now until he can lose that. But see, that leaves a whole other issue wide open. Who's your babyface? Who's the babyface that would take it off of Karrion Kross if you're going to try to give it back to Roman? Or does Roman not get it back anymore?
Does Roman need it anymore?
Roman doesn't need it anymore. But I would feel like you would want Roman to have it. I feel like the urge would be there to have Roman have it at some capacity. Does he need it? Absolutely not. He can sell things without being the world champion, but he's going to definitely be in the picture.
Randy or Riddle, to answer your question.
Good point. I think they pulled the trigger on Riddle then. Because Randy, I feel like he's more of an undetermined time frame with his back issues and that. I
think he gets one more, though. I think he gets at least one more because he's legendary.
He might get he gets the Swan Song title, basically.
Yeah. He gets one more.
That's fair.
Which could then there's no friendship, and maybe Riddle takes it from Randy. Fuck, we're now booking 2 years out. But
we're booking a shit ton, but agreed, because we talked about that before. There was going to be a turn there at some point. So when does it happen?
All right. So I want to ask you, because the rest, shout out to Spencer Slade and Mambo Italiano from IWC from getting their ass kicked by Omos, by the way.
Yeah.
I have to say, I hate you, Corey Graves. I love Corey Graves. But, dude, the smart ass remark that you made that he doesn't care who these people are, you came from IWC, you motherfucker. I would have worked those IWC initials in somehow. Thank you, Bailey.
Bailey agrees.
Thank you. Come on, dude. You know where they're from. You see them walking down the fucking Permane Brothers, you and Carmella. Fuck yourself, Corey Graves. That's your hometown, Sterling. I was mad about that.
I couldn't tell. Could not tell at all.
I do want to talk about Bob and Ciampa, because I think there's a lot there. But I want to talk about, we're going to really run long. Fuck, Ethan's walking home. What the hell was going on behind the scenes? I don't know if people didn't know. There's a car wreck.
Dude.
There's people dying. What are we setting up for?
Oh, you didn't get it? Oh.
I did not. Am I that guy?
Oh, you didn't get it. Okay. What I will say to you is this was a hot topic, because I said the same thing. Moochie and I were going back and forth during the show, because we're like, what the fuck is going on with the car ride? I can't pay attention to KO's promo. And then they had Bailey and them doing their own promo, but then the cops started chasing up the ramp. So yeah, I had no fucking idea until the end when Dexter Lumis came out. They were chasing after Lumis. It all tied back to Lumis, but they were doing a story behind the scenes.
That let me down a little bit then. Nothing against Dexter Lumis. I'm glad he's back.
Yeah. So it was the fact that Lumis, I think, crashed the car to distract, escaped it. Then he could sneak into the arena, kind of stalk a little bit, and that's how it all tied together with Lumis. But
I wanted more then.
I know, but you had the same reaction I had, because I'm like, the fuck is going on with this car crash? I didn't even pay attention to what KO said.
Not at all.
Because I'm watching Doudrop, Nikki ASH, the Usos stand around this car that's crashed into a pillar, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? But it all tied back to Lumis ultimately.
I'm happy Lumis is back. I've always liked his shtick that he doesn't talk. He does a lot of cool stuff in the ring. But shit.
Excuse me. My favorite part of this was during the week. Somebody was like, somebody needs to get Triple H under control and hire better parking lot attendants or security. Because every time NXT, when something happens, it happened in the parking lot. Somebody gets jumped in the parking lot. Now there's fucking cars crashing and shit in the middle of his parking lots on Raw. They need to get higher security to fucking protect the parking lot.
I agree. It's like me and you back there.
Yep. Oh, and Hit Row just walked out.
All of them?
3. Because obviously the 4th is an AEW.
But B-Fab's back.
B-Fab's back.
Yeah. I'm looking at you, B-Fab. You're on my wall. All right. So Bob and Ciampa. And other stuff. Ziggler beat Gable. I don't know. I don't know. It was a good match. Did we lose something on Gable? On Ziggler?
I didn't, because this looked like a straight shoot wrestling type match until the super kick. I think it seemed like it went back and forth a lot. I didn't lose anything on Ziggler, but maybe everybody else did with it. I thought it was great the way they did it.
Is he getting something with Theory? There wasn't a payoff with Theory yet.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like they buried Theory, and Theory's in a desert somewhere dead and gone. Until maybe the Way shows up. Who have they hired back? Lumis? Indy's still there. Theory's there. I don't think he would come back, but
I hate your face right now.
I love yours, so I guess that equals out.
Oh, right. I loved everything Ciampa did with Harley races.
Robe.
Yeah, man. I thought this was, I'm not saying a classic. It had, for me, every writing on the wall, the perfect time to give it to Ciampa.
Yeah.
And then Bob won, and I'm like, you guys can't see the sad face that I just gave him, but I'm like, really? Bob, again, Bob's there. Doesn't need a title. If Karrion gets a title, Bob can fight Karrion for it. If Karrion stays and fights Roman, Bob can fight Drew for the title. He's built to go after that heavyweight championship. You want to talk about pushing people and doing cool stuff? For Ciampa to beat Bob, he's not mid-card. He's holding a mid-card title, but he's elite. He's one of your upper echelon. You're putting Ciampa there then. And then he just fucking taps out.
Yeah.
This was my biggest disappointment. I really thought with the pomp and circumstance of having Harley races, and I don't really, it was a remake, I would imagine.
Right.
Stuff and everything they put forward, I'm like, thank God, Ciampa's getting this title. He can turn into the Blackheart again, do this. And then it wasn't on him for 3 seconds, and he taps out.
Yeah. My only thought is because you said upper echelon, I feel like they're waiting. I think they have to wrap up the storyline with AJ and Miz and Ciampa. I think AJ is going to be the one to take it off of Bob, to be honest. And then
Again,
somebody beats.
But nothing against AJ, but.
But no. Here's my thoughts, because I think, to your point, you made the point. Bob's main event. Bob is upper card. You know, he's a big name. Ciampa, you could make, he's still Miz's lackey in air quotes right now. Until they get Ciampa away from Miz, which I think is happening soon rather than later, I think they put it on AJ, and I think Ciampa then gets it from AJ at some point. So I think it's just the way they have it set up now. Again, we're in that transition phase. They didn't feel like Ciampa was in a position to take it off of Bob yet, is my only thought with that, without hook and crook type scenarios. I could be overthinking it and oversimplifying it, but that would be my thought process behind it.
I just don't want Ciampa to go to the wayside.
I completely agree, because I think Ciampa's money. You lose a lot of things if you don't bring Ciampa up and have him be that elite star.
Agreed. That's all I got on Raw.
Yeah, I'm just giving I gave my thumbs up to Gable and Ziggler, so that's all I got.
Yeah, that's it. Because we touched on AJ and Miz. I mean, it was a no DQ match, and essentially it was to bring Loomis back.
Yeah, it was. So now Loomis is staring down people and creeping on people. So we get to watch that storyline unfold.
I'm all right with that. I like creepy Loomis playing the piano.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Long show. We drank a lot. We loved it a lot. I'm telling you, every time I do this, Jenks, and you're the only one who can see this, I need to move Lacey Evans. But on that wall, you've seen the pictures. It goes Lacey, Kelly, and then into like multiples. The beautiful people are there. Tasha and Kira are there. And then I have Sunny, Gail Kim, and Nat signing on Sunny's Hall of Fame speech. All I need is Beth Phoenix to sign that one, and it's a complete. Like, those are my 4 sideways pictures. I need a woman sideways picture to get Lacey Evans out of that, because otherwise that whole wall does not fit. I don't know. And it's the Southern Belle, Lacey Evans. I mean, It's a good one to have. I respect her. I like everything she did. Fuck, I probably shouldn't have put a sideways row right there.
Probably not, now that you're thinking about it.
It's me. Son of a bitch.
Well, I don't know what to tell you, man. Where can you get a sideways photo? That's going to be the key.
it's got to be somebody good, because that wall is, like, it's going to take, I don't know, from Alexa the Thunder to the Four Horsewomen to Mickie James. Chelsea's on it because she personalized about the tat. And these are all normal 8x10s. AJ Lee, Michelle McCool, Chyna, B-Fab, the Riot Squad. Who can slide in there? I have two other sideways, Summer and Carmella, which are above as well because the wall's stupidly formed. But, like, I don't know. Who's going to make that wall? I need something big to take that wall.
Yeah. The only big names are in WWE right now that I can think of. Unless you get a Brit one.
I have
don't think Brit, they do.
My Brit is with me and Ethan behind me on the IWC. Like, I got Brit before Brit was Brit.
Brit, yeah. Do you get one of Brit being Brit now?
No, I don't do double autographs.
Oh, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah. Because
then
Brit first ever winning the title. She's got her hat on backwards. Ethan's got his head on her shoulder when he was 8. And I'm wearing the very first Britsburg shirt. Like,
I do remember that photo. Yeah, you can't replace that. There's too many good memories there.
Yeah. This is before anybody knew Brit was anything.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but I have to go get Ethan.
Yeah, that's fine.
No, I got that text because she knows I am not on a 6-pack driving out of this house.
Yeah.
So, we will end it like this. Jenks, I love you.
Love you too.
We will reconvene next week for a lot of whatever we talk about.
Agreed. Let's do it.
The downfall is when we do the 5th one, before everything takes place, I'm going to be loaded going to Soups. Because we said for predictions, we are drinking liquor.
Yeah, that is right. That is right. We did.
Yeah.
That 6-pack's coming to me.
Fuck my life. Remember, just because I'm going to be trash in about 2 weeks, doesn't mean you... Wait, what? Remember, just because you're trash, doesn't mean you can't do...
Wait, what?
Just end it.
It's called a garbage can, not a garbage cannot.
Woo-woo!